Thank you very much, compatriot Teresa. Uh, thank also to the House and those that are listening, my countrymen and women. Colonel Lampol Gabriel, the SPLIO spokesperson. So that is briefly about me. I'm a South Sudanese, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Colonel Lampol Gabriel, for your short introduction. We appreciate also your presence. To our spokesperson, the spokesperson of NASOR, Mr. Suba. Please introduce yourself. Mr. Suba.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you, compatriot Teresa, compatriot Dominic, and my brother Lam Gabriel, who's a co-host, invitee here with me. Yes, I'm Super Samuel, the spokesperson of National Salvation Front. It's my pleasure to again come back to GMC, Grassroots Media Center, for this kind of discussions, which are very important to highlight our members, sympathizers, and in general, the people of South Sudan on the situations and current events, and perhaps also to clarify some of misinformation that has been peddled or circling around. So I think we hope by the end of this discussion, we will have answered some of the questions that are there, and probably also some concerns that are being raised by the members. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Suba Samuel. I appreciate your introduction. Now we are going to start. We just hope that the audience should listen carefully, and those who have questions, then will ask. They will ask later. We'll give them chance, and then the other thing, please avoid security question. Those are the question that we might not really take because we just want to make sure that the public really understand what exactly has happened, and if Governor Lobong is telling the truth or not as well. So let's start. We start first with compatriot Colonel Lampol Gabriel. The first question uh, um, is on the 18th November 2025, a joint force of NAS and SPLM-IO had launched a major offense in Torit, the capital of Eastern Equatorial State. What is the significant message to Juba regime with this move from the two movements? Please, the floor is yours.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, compatriot Teresa. Yes, on the 18th, as you put it very clearly, a joint force of NAS and the SPLIO made a major offensive against the SSPDF and the SPLM-IG forces in Torit. It is the first of its kind this year that a state capital, was hit by the SPLIO and NAS jointly. It's a very strong message. It never happened in Western Equatoria. It never happened in Central Equatoria. It never happened in the greater Upper Nile or even the greater Baragazal, but it happened in Torit. That is a show of unity. First of all, a unified front between NAS and the SPLIO. It's a very clear message that we're sending, that these two forces are now having a unified front, and that front is removing of the regime that is in Juba currently. It's also present in Eastern Equatorial State. Many people thought that since Eastern has been quiet, maybe there is no presence of revolutionary fighters in Eastern Equatorial. No, we are everywhere in South Sudan, and we wanted to show our presence. We were also responding to the speech of Lobong prior to the attack. We have heard that Lobong was warning the SPLIO not to attack or not to engage in serious attacks with the SSPDF. Yeah, and also telling that the SPLIO was bringing force from the Greater Upper Nile, that is in Nasir, all the way to come to attack Eastern Equatoria. It looks like Lobong doesn't know the geography of South Sudan, because Nasir is too far. Why would we wait for force all the way from Nasir, yet we have force in Eastern Equatoria? So we want to show Lobong that we have presence here. And there's no way he would be warning us every single time. You see, so it was a response to his statement. It was also a show of professionalism. If we looked at the attack that happened, it was specific, it was precise, targeting the SSPDF base, that is the division headquarters of Division 7 that was attacked. And also the regime forces across Tineti, that is in Gumbo, where they have the joint operation force of theirs, and also the checkpoint along Juba Torit Road. So that was professionalism. We never targeted civilian properties, or even civilians themselves were not targeted. And there was no civilian casualties, or even single injury was not really part of our aim, that things like that is supposed to happen. So we were showing that we're a professional force, and we really wanted to make sure there is reform in the army. If they would be following exactly what we are doing, our civilians will be safe wherever they are, regardless whether they are with us in our control areas or whether they're with the SSPDF. They are civilians, and we need to respect that. So we were showing professionalism. And third, we were showing that, whatever is happening with the regime in Juba, that's whatever is happening. That is their thing in Juba. We are here and we won't change. Whether they are trying Dr. Machar, they cannot hold us back as SPLIO, that we can't be fighting. No, this fight is bigger than Dr. Machar. This fight is bigger than the SPLIO. This is a fight for freedom of every South Sudanese. All those that are suffering in the refugee camps, all those are displaced in the bushes, all those are displaced in POCs. This is their fight. This is a fight for their freedom. So this is a serious message that we are sending to the government in Juba, that if they continue with whatever they are doing, harassing of civilians, mistreating people, and the corruption, this war is continuing. And we are also asking everybody to come on board, that it is time for a second liberation of that country. Thank you.
Yeah,
I think I'm done.
Thank you very
the
much,
first question.
Mr. Mr. Lampol. I'm going to mute you. I don't know. Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry, my internet. Can you hear me now? Yeah, sorry, it was just got stuck here. Yeah, thank you very much, Colonel Lampol Gabriel, for answering that. I'm sure that the public are listening. They will be your witness to differentiate between who's telling the truth and who's not, because The way Lobong was saying that SPLMIO troops are coming from from Nasir, going to Eastern Equatoria. It was puzzling a little bit for us as the people of South Sudan. I can see that Mr. Suba is not around here, but I will ask him later as well. If I can go again with the second question, Colonel Lampol, Suba is here. Mr. Suba, thank you that you're back. I hope you're listening. We just want to actually ask you the same question. On the 18th November 2025, a joint voice of NAS and SPLM-IO had launched a major offense in Torit, the capital of Eastern Equatorial State. What is the significant message to Juba regime with this move from the two movements? The floor is yours.
The message is simple and clear to Juba that time of deception and time of playing around with the will, expectation, and the interests of the people of South Sudan has an end. And whatever they've been doing all this time against the people of South Sudan forced the two movements to have no other option but to work together to ensure that the will of the people of South Sudan at the end of the day prevails. The people of South Sudan should know that the beginning of this year, especially immediately after the crisis that happened to our brothers in the SPLM-IO, we thought wisely that it is good when these forces, instead of fighting or struggling in a disjointed way, it is good if we're able to combine effort, especially now recalling the fact that the regime, with all the financial resources, with all the might, the military might that they have, the military assets that they have, is still, there are also other countries beyond the region and even the region who are also helping them. So the people of South Sudan, especially those who are deprived of their rights and their freedom, find themselves isolated with no other help but to rely on themselves. The fact that we are revolutionaries who are fighting the common enemy, it is important that if we are able to join also our effort to resist this enemy, and if need be, also take the war to the doorsteps of the enemy. So I think this is what we have been doing. We started it in Central Equatoria, it worked. We started it in Western Equatoria, and now we are sampling it in Eastern Equatoria. And as Lam Gabriel made it, this one is so significant, historical, because we targeted a state capital. And you know, Torit, it's significant, it's historical significant in the history of South Sudan. So we tested it, and our forces went into their headquarters and came out successful. And that's an indication that everything is doable. That significantly shows that our forces are united and they have an ability and capability of hitting any place at any time. And we have also tested the strength of the enemy, how they are, and we have known that they are weaker than ever before. And there are many factors that explain, especially the fact that they're divided among themselves even. You can remember the kind of internal power rivalry within the SPLM in government. You can also add issues to do with the economic situation and deprivation of the army. You know, Salva Kiir currently is now relying on foreign forces, mercenaries, and he has abandoned the SSPDF. So there is no fighting morale within the SPLM forces or the SSPDF forces. So for that fact, this operation signifies a lot that if we are able to combine our guards together and gather more courage, and more especially if the people of South Sudan also stands behind us in all these efforts. So there is no any other place that will stand untouched, including Juba or J1 itself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Suba, for your answer. Now I'm gonna go for the second question, and I hope my brother, compatriot Dominic, is also writing down the follow up questions here. During this is to Colonel Lampol Gabriel. During Governor Louis Lebon's press conference, he urged the civilian not to allow harbor the rebel. According to him, don't this statement constitute inciting violence against the civilian population in eastern Equatoria state? Mr. Lam.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again, compatriot Teresa, for the second question. Lobong is crying. The civilian of South Sudan or the civilian in South Sudan do not belong to any party. They are civilians. They can host anybody. They can respect anybody. Any party that comes to their territory, they will have to welcome them, depending on how you present yourself. If you're hostile, the civilian will be hostile against you. But also, if you're friendly, the civilian of South Sudan will be friendly against you or towards you. Yes, Robong is trying to create a scenario where, he knows that the youth in Eastern Equatoria are armed youth. Majority of them are properly armed. We have the Moyomichi. We have also the bully, like the Bulu of Acholi from my area. These are armed youth. That is what he's trying to do, because currently Lobong is mobilizing, including even the SSPDF. They're trying to mobilize the youth to attack our forces. I'm aware of youth in some parts of Mogui County being mobilized to come from the side of Polotaka to attack the SPLA positions there. This is a show of weakness, as compatriot Suba made it very clearly that the test that we did in Torit shows weakness of the government. It exposed them completely. And now this is the second weakness that we are also seeing, because now if they are going to rely on the youth, technically means that they don't have a fighting force. You see. But we are aware that these youth are educated. These youth are not very stupid, that they can just be mobilized to come and die. Because it's not enough to hold a gun. It's not enough to fire a gun. But you'll have to be trained in combat so that you defend yourself and infiltrate the enemy. The SPLIO and NAS show that very clearly. If they're able to infiltrate the SSPDF up to the division headquarters, what will the youth do? So we don't want to be pitched against the youth or against the civilian in Eastern Equatorial State. We are a friendly force that is defending themselves against the regime, against the dictatorial regime in Juba, and we are working hard to make sure we bring change to this country. We don't have any issues with civilians, and we don't expect civilians to listen to this incitement by the governor. If he wants to fight us, let him send the SSPDF. We'll be ready for that. I respect a force that comes well prepared to fight. That one no problem, because it's our role as soldiers to defend ourselves and also to fight for right and freedom and for the freedom of our people. So if SSPDF comes and attack us, we will be willing, we'll be very happy to fight them back, just like what we did to them, and we drew. But if they send for us civilians, we don't know what is going to happen. But the truth is, we ask the civilians to respect their role as civilians and to avoid being incited to come and attack the SPLIO. If they are not able to attack the SSPDF, then they also don't have right to come and attack the SPLIO. Otherwise, it will make them like militias. When they become militias, yes, then that means will be held, will not be held accountable if we fight back. We don't want that situation to happen in Eastern Equatorial State, that the youth are being used as militias of the SSPDF or by the SPLM-IG. That need to stop, and Lobong need to learn from this, that this is just a serious incitement and a serious invitation of serious violence in Eastern Equatorial State when that happens. Because the youth will also be divided. We'll have youth that will be supporting the SPLIO, then there'll be youth that will be supporting the SSPDF. Don't you think that will spread? I believe it will spread to where he will not even be in control anymore. So we are urging Lobong to be professional. Send for us the SSPDF. We will be very happy to fight them. But don't incite the youth to come and attack us, because you are just bringing them to come and die for no reason. For a mission that is not theirs, a mission that only benefits the SPLM-IG and it benefits your personal interest as a governor of the state. So this is my message, and I know it is an incitement. To come direct to the answer, is an incitement, which is a very serious one, and we want it to stop. We want the youth to believe that this is not their war, this is our war with the SSPDF and the SPLM-IG. Thank you very much, Teresa.
Yeah, thank you very much, Colonel Lampol, for the answer. Maybe I'll repeat the same question again to Mr. Suba. I don't know if I should repeat it to read it again, or you catch it already, or should I repeat, Mr. Suba?
I think if it is the same question, I think I've
Yes, it's
understood
the
it.
question. Yeah, please go on.
Yeah.
Maybe Suba,
I think
an addition just to these questions, because it goes in the line. What strong message are you going to send, for example, now to these youth, but most importantly to this SSDF, these people who the government and the likes of Lobong always wanted to use them as firewood into these unnecessary fights of them, when they are not actually, treating them as human beings. They are not giving them what it takes for them to be soldiers with regards to their salaries and all this kind of stuff. So what strong message are you going also to give to the SSDF? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the additional question to that which was already posed by compatriot Teresa. In fact, I read a statement by the governor of Eastern Equatoria, where he was asking the civilians not to host or to accommodate rebels. Such statements, in one way or another, yes, qualifies as an incitement. In other way, indirectly, is trying to indicate that probably the civilians are the one hosting or feeding the forces, the revolutionary forces who are operating around Torit. I think Lobong, one of the things that he should know is that the SSPDF usually, when they are defeated in any operation, the primary target for their revenge always are the civilians. And I think more especially if they have suffered some casualties, they usually end up relinquishing their anger to the innocent civilians, and that has happened in many places where compatriot or revolutionary forces have been operating, or when they have given a deadly blow against the SSPDF. And two, also, there is what we call counterinsurgency measures. These counterinsurgency measures is to create a situation whereby to make the civilians either migrate, run away, or to force them in other way to involuntarily or forcefully, if they have any information, to be able to tell what maybe the locations of the enemy of for them where they are. So create a situation whereby if they think that where the civilians are, or where the compatriots are operating, are conducive to their hideouts and the like. So you create a situation that kind of habitat is destroyed, and that explains what we call counterinsurgency measures and the like. So I think Lobong is trying to create a justification for this kind of counterinsurgency that they wanted to carry out, either using SSPDF or using their allied militia that they are trying to build. But at the end of the day, first of all, for us, our revolutionary forces, we are deploying basic guerrilla tactics. We usually trade element of time, we trade element of space, we trade element of terrain for advantage against the enemy. So for them, at situation like this, they may not get our forces wherever they may think they are, especially when you look at the terrain of Eastern Equatoria, mountainous and the like. So it will be very difficult, particularly if they're using their assets like Mambas or whatever like that. They will not be able to access our forces. But the problem is that at this loss, that they are not able to do whatever they want, they usually end up relinquishing their anger against civilians. And this is a common thing and a regrettable thing usually that they do. So now, such a statement that comes from the head of the security in the area, associating their civilians, for instance, that let them not hide rebels and the like. Because if you know that as the head of the security, you know that there are people there who hide rebel, why don't you also there by giving a blanket statement? Such a blanket statement, it's actually an incitement, such that one day if enforcement comes, then they will not be able to distinguish between a rebel and a common citizen. And therefore, this one here stands as a warning to Lobong that if there is any counterinsurgency in Eastern Equatoria around Torit area committed by the SSPDF against the forces, against the civilians in those areas, then him as a governor should be held responsible for anything that will happen there. That's one. Number two, the citizens of Eastern Equatoria, I think, are wise enough. Since 2010, when Lobong became a governor of Eastern Equatoria, even a child who was born in 2010, by this time, has developed a capability of reasoning and now knows his right. A child born in 2010 by this time now is almost 13 years. It's a senior one, probably. And this person now has an ability to reason for himself. And Lobong has been in that position from that time up to today. What has he done to the people of Eastern Equatoria? Now that he's mobilizing people to create security in the area and stability in the area, where was the stability all this time? Because when we talk of stability, particularly when we talk of human security is not about the physical security. deploying forces to make sure that there is security in the area. But you make sure that there is a conducive environment in terms of food security, in terms of health security, in terms of educational security, in terms of job security, especially for the youth. Has he been creating job opportunities for the youth of Eastern Equatoria? Are there income generating projects or schemes for the youth of Eastern Equatoria that they will meaningfully be able to engage in, such that the welfare and the stability of the state will be a priority for them? Or it is them and his cronies in Juba who are benefiting all this time. And then when it comes to the issues where their power or the status quo is challenged, now they want to appeal for you to come and help them. So at this time, the message, if now can incorporate the point brought up by Dominic, that the people of Eastern Equatoria, not only the people of Eastern Equatoria, but the whole people of South Sudan, must begin to differentiate between their personal interests as an individual and what the government stands for. First of all, let them know that's what does the government, this government of Salva Kiir and his governors, what is it that they are really providing for them that it's worth dying for as a citizen. But when you look at Lobong and his group, of course, they can decide to die for this government because they have an interest. If anything, their children go to school, they have monthly salary that come, they are sharing from the projects, the schemes, whether from gold or whatever, they are getting them. They have other things, foreign banks, accounts, they're there. And all this thing comes from the government, they're there. So they have a right to defend their government. And how about the other common man who doesn't benefit, particularly the SSPDF soldier who goes and defend them, who goes there and die, who go there and get amputated, who goes there and the child doesn't go to school, the wife is sick at home, extended family is sick, you are not able to contribute, and you are saying you're working for this government for nothing. At the end of the day, at the expense of your blood, at the expense of your life. So what is the justification? What is the moral justification? Or even the real legal justification that you say, I have a right to die for this government because of this fact? Those realities are not there. So I think a time for us to know about these facts is now. Actually, it was supposed to be yesterday, not now. That all these people have been playing games against our people. And the truth is now happening. Now that they have fought everybody, and those they don't want, they have all gone out. Those who they go to those who cannot go and fight, they go to diaspora. Those who cannot, they go to the refugee camp. They go and find another place somewhere, or you remain silent inside the country. You remain silent and don't talk. You just look at whatever they are doing, and you just keep your cool. Now that there are no enemies to fight, now they are fighting among themselves, and that's a normal phenomenon in any political situation. When you fight against the enemy, those you suspect as your enemy, and you are able to destroy them all, and there are no enemies, definitely you will come and fight among yourselves. I think you have heard of this saying that government usually eat themselves. Eating themselves, this is the stage that they have reached in. Because there are no enemies, now the enemies are those who are close to them. Because there are other factors that can bring in those rivalry in terms of position, in terms of resources. Now resources are getting meager, and therefore other people wanted to take the larger share and others need to be pushed away. It will continue even until the family of Kir themselves will fight when things become serious. Those are normal things in politics. So our citizens, must know all these things, that since 2005, that the SPLM IG has been there in the under Salva Kiir till today. They have been cheating. They have been cheating. They have been oppression. They have been actually walking on top of us. And therefore, time has come that let them do their own thing. If they have their own forces, let them mobilize. Let them mobilize their forces. I want to add another information. There are forces that are brought from Upper Nile recently. These forces are deployed in areas of Yei and Morobo. And most of these guys, are young people, are young kids from 12, 13, 15, 16. And I'm quite sure most of those guys are conscripted, forcefully conscripted from Upper Nile. Because now these days, what they are doing, even in Juba, they conscript young boys. And these people are taken to areas of Barghazal, trained and deployed to Upper Nile. While people from Upper Nile are conscripted, also taken to other places, trained and brought to areas like in Equatoria. Now, in these areas, most of these people, first of all, they don't know about this train in Equatoria. They are unfamiliar with the area and the like, and they even don't know the reason why they are fighting, because most of them, they come and find that the people that they have been, because they are oriented, that come and fight, these are all enemies. But they come and find the people that they are fighting, like the civilians, these are common people, almost like them. Then some of them are even surprised, why are we fighting some of these people? Now, if we have got some report, some of these forces, some of them are running away, some of them are deserting. And these are the things that we wanted from the SSPDF, wherever they are. Today, you are not dignified. You are not dignified because your services is no longer needed. That's why they are relying now on services of other people who can be paid with more money. And for you, you will be paid with hunger and hardship. Now, you and your gun that you have in your hand, you are in a better place. You can even use your gun to go and take from that person who gives you an orders. And that's why even in Juba, when you look at those big people's houses, by the way, they have a lot of money. I've seen recently in someone's house, money kept in fridge. Now, if you're an SSPDF, you have your gun and you are dying of hunger, and you know very well that money is in your commander's place. A lot of money is in your commander's place, which belongs to you. Why don't you go there and pick? Go there. Even Satan will support you. Leave about God, who is God of justice. Even Satan, who loves injustice, will even love you because you are taking what belongs to you. So, Dominic, my message to SSPDF and to militias who are wrongly mobilized to come and fight, let them first of all know what is the reason for fighting. How are they going to benefit out of that? If they are mobilized in terms of tribe, if they are mobilized in terms of blood relationship, mobilized in terms of few stipends, money here and there, those things will never benefit you. Why? Because the aspect of nationalism, the aspect of patriotism, a long time buried by Salva Kiir, it doesn't work anymore. So these people in Eastern Equatoria, let them not hear to Lobong. He has failed. He is crying just to send message to his backers in Juba that everything is okay, but things are not okay where he is. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Suba and Samuel, for your answer. This question in particular will go to Colonel Lampol Gabriel, because during this also the press conference of Governor Lobong, he connected the attack to patron of a recent violence in the region, accusing the SPLA or the SPLM IO of being behind multiple road ambushes and previous raid on security office in Koboita. What can you say about his accusation to you as IO in his press conference, Colonel Lam?
Thank you again, compatriot Teresa. I can admit on one thing, that is the attack in Kafoita. That was on the 25th last month, when our forces raided the National Security Office, and also part of the SSPDF base in Kafoita. But on the accusation of attacks along the roads of Eastern Equatoria, that is baseless. That is fake accusation. That is not going to help. It is a projection of what they are doing, what their forces are doing to our civilians, and trying to put it on us. We always claim responsibility for what we have done. It has not started today. Even around before the peace was signed, 2015, I remember 2016, 2017, there were attacks along Juba Nimle Road, which were so deadly. We took claim, we took responsibility, because we need to be accountable for what we do. That was responsibility, so that tomorrow, in case there is going to be any investigation in these attacks, we will have to be investigated, and we have to take responsibility for our own actions. So we don't run away from taking responsibility. But in Eastern Equatoria, I'm aware of 2 attacks. That is the one in Kafoita on the 25th, and this one in Torit. That happened. But along Magwi Road, as he put it, no. Along Juba Road or Kafoita Road, no. The SPLIO don't do that. Now, I want also people to know how we structure ourselves, or we structure our command. The SPLIO leadership put it in a way that every division and every brigade is being commanded by an officer from the area. For example, in Torit currently, the sector is under General Patrick Ohiti. Patrick Ohiti is a son of Eastern Equatoria, and currently he is based around Torit. That means that there is no way Patrick would allow the SPLIO forces under his command to misbehave against the civilian. This is how we structure ourselves to avoid incidences where our forces go rogue and harass civilians. Because you'll be harassing your own people, you'll be harassing your own sisters, your own parents, your own siblings, your own family. Some of us, we still have our families intact at home. Why? Because this is our home. We can't go against the civilians. We target the SSPDF bases, because those are our enemies. Not innocent civilians, not those walking along the road. No, we don't do that. So this accusation by Lobong on the issue of the roads, or in regards to the attacks along the roads and other places, is fake. That's not true. So as SPLIO, I don't accept that. But I take full responsibility on the attack in Kafoita on the 25th and 18th attack in Torit. That one is done by the SPLIO in Kafoita, and also by the SPLIO and NAS in Torit, respectively. Thank you. I don't know whether I've answered you complete, but I think this is it that I can give you.
Yeah, you did actually, Colonel Lampol, and I appreciate that. In a different note, the same question that I actually want to ask Mr. Suba, but for instance, during this press conference, while Lobong avoided not to mention NAS absolutely, only referring to IO in this regard. Can you explain, for instance, or is it a way of trying to send a different message? Can you please elaborate on that, Mr. Subasamal?
Yeah, thank you. I think even before I could elaborate on that particular point, السؤال اللي ممكن واحد ممكن بقرا ليه لوبونج ده
والله كويس انت اقلب بعربي ذاته ده كويس كل الناس تانيين فاهم عربي شويه اتفضل.
ليه غفنا ده ولا والي ده يعني في زمن ده كله طبعا هو اتهم SPLM IO قال بعملوا هجومات في الشوارع للمواطنين وعربات بدور، لكن هو ما عمل بريس ستيتمنت ولا كومبلين على اساس جماعه ديل عمل امبوسيس في الشوارع في زمن ده كله. اونلي في زمن الهجوم حصل في توريت يا بداكو جابوا كلام اللي قال في كلام ده. اذا ما في كلام ده حصل، ما في حاجه حصل بالطريقه ده، لانه لو كان قال في حاجه ثانيه حصل زي ده ما في ناس بيريبورت. and Lobong is not the only person who report في Eastern Equatoria alone. في منظمات هناك، في منظمات في كاونتيز، في محافظين ممكن كان بيقول قال في حاجه حصل بطريقه كده وهنا. and even السبوكس بيرسون بتاع SSPDF ما دائما قد في حادث حصل في سكه وبونس في حاجه حصل جدا، لكن كلامات دائما ما ونزوا بس جو نزول في زمن الكلام اللي تريد ده حصل. لكن حاجه اللي انا عرفت تمام يعني فورسز بتوعهم they are starving them، ما بودي لهم هي ما بودي لهم الاكل والسنسن ده، هم are the one even who are ambushing مواطنين اللي بيجيبوا اكل بتوعهم بيصيروا في السوق وشنو. This has been there reported. These are cases that اللي بيحصل. لكن دائما لو كان في forces في we operate outside the structure بتاع البلد دائما يعني كان في حاجه ثانيه حصل انت بدخل وقال هاي دول ده يعمل بتاع ده شفتها ده او حاجه motivated لبون في البروبلم ده. اذا he's defending the atrocities and the excesses ال SSPDF بيجي يعمل. and the good thing we are privy للريبورتس بالذات بتاع المنظمات. مع المنظمات دي كله شغالين they share information about what is going on بالذات في التحرك بتاعهم في الدليفري بتاع الهيومانيتاريان مواد الاغاثه في محلات براو وشنو وحاجات الكل بيحصل لهم. so هم كمان بيكتبوا السكيورتي ريبورت بتاعهم about situation and the like. so طبعا we as a non-actors كمان طبعا sometimes في areas بتاع الكنترول بتاعنا they have to seek permission and information, and in case of any violations كمان كان حاصل some of these reports will come to us and we verify هل كانت forces بتاعنا ولا شنو. لكن في most of the reports اللي بيجي ده كله facing بيجي كله بروح لل SSPDF. يعني the SSPDF هسه in terms of percentage in terms of violations against the civilians في South Sudan the SSPDF in the state بيجي يعمل حاجات ده. ليه؟ لأنه ما كلام بتاع جيان وبرا من جيان طبعا this is a force which is politicized. the force اللي عنده أهداف سياسية بيجي مرس حاجات ده وبعد في كلام الكل في الأهداف السياسية اللي هم بيجي يستخدم ده ضد المواطنين ده في نهاية بتوع بيسبب بقى الكارثة ولا بالذات الفايليشنز اللي هم بيتعمل في areas ده. so لوبون في 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 مجال ده هو ما عنده طريقه اللي هو explain how this force came and attacked Torit. and I remember and the 3 weeks when they come he was meeting the president and he was saying Eastern Equatoria قال امني بتوعهم ستاب ايه حاجه كويس. now كان بقى ايه حاجه كويس يلا بقى الجوين فورس جا واتاك دخل لغايه في الديفيجن هيد كوارترز ده دخلوا كيف؟ so اذا في نقص في الامن بتاع الايسترن ايكواتوريا. وطبعا ايه زول ايامات ده بالذات بالديجريز اللي بتقول هي ده ايه زول حساس في البوزيشن بتاعه So kalam da gal hasil nagde lobong asa jaru kundura to fok لانه يعني كيف ممكن بيجا يرو برا من محل ده بطريقه ثانيه غير مباشر كده. So اذا انه لازم كده بليم ايزول يلا طبعا ايامات ده اسم بتاع اي او ده طبعا ياو في جوبا هناك كان ده اي او توالي ده توالي ده مساوب بويا بطال وحاجات بالشيء كده. So اذا لو كان جيبوك اسم بتاع اي او قوام ده اذا انت you have exonerated yourself from تهمه ولا بليم وحاجات بالشيء كده. لكن حاجه في يعني ايفن في للوبون اذا سكري كرئيس بتاع اللجنه بتاع امن في ولايه، هو كرئيس بتاع لجنه الامن في ولايه، اذا المعلومات بتاع الامن عن الولايه نقصان هو ضعيف خالص. لانه first of all فوز ده جاء من وين؟ ما فوز ده جاء من وين؟ ولقد وصل في مرحله this time بقى بيشتغل واحد ودخل لقد في منطقه وعمل انجاز عسكري كبير جدا وطلع برا. وانت كوالي قاعد في محل من في 2010 وانت قلت بعرف ايه حاجه الرجل ده what happened؟ دي جاته يعني سالفه دي ما ريزولت ابني. يعني لو كان قال بس بيها لو كان قال ما اتاتشمنت مع الراجل ده is more material than professional لو بون عنده مشكله تو تاني براو. سو الموتيفيشن بتاع لبون الانسيس قال لي اي او يعمل هذا ده هو ما قدر يكبر الموضوع. ما قدر يكبر الموضوع. اذا لو كان قال يا اخي جوينت فورس عمل حاجه ده اذا is a big threat because الالliance حتى is a threat لجوبا. So if they said it is indeed الفورسز ده يعمل الكلام ده كله that means the whole project is expanding and is now becoming a serious security threat to the regime. So Lobong der Galil he wants to belittle the whole operation such that it doesn't have that kind of magnitude with a scare factor. Algal, this thing is very big and alike. So that's what is behind his reasoning. Like in Finihaya Bito, he has failed in managing the especially the security situation في أجل and that is for our objective جارو. لأنه from there we allow بقى الجماعة بتاعنا هناك we decide free. Number two, كده مواطنين والجمهور كله cannot not be taken by this wrong assertion with the media. القال في أموسيس بيعمل الفورسز بيعمل في محلات ده كله. All these forces زمان ده كله مقاعد في محلات ده لكن ما في أي مشاكل بيحصل. What is now why at this time? Number three, one of the preconditions with our شغل بتاعنا join that we inform our forces قال let's behave so different مع SSPDF لأنه أنا كان بعمل نفسه حاجات اللي SSPDF بعمل ده it defeats the meaning of the struggle. Because why do you struggle? لأنه the common factor أننا دير salvage ده is the nation including مواطنين ده. لازم يكون فوق عنده freedom، لازم يكون عنده أمن، لازم يكون فوق عنده استقرار. لكن كمان إنت who is agitating for change دير تغيير ده إنت كمان تمشي تعمل نفسه حاجات ده then إذن it defeats the very purpose for which إنت مشيت في غابة عشان تنادل فوق ده. So one of the prerequisites بتاع الشغل بتاعنا المشترك ده على أساس let's our forces first of all behave. Let's our forces behave and that's why إنت كان شفت في محلات مشينا بيش مشينا للميليتري objective وطلعنا برا بس. وده لسه ده first stage. طبعا مراحل بتشكل ده برا في بعدين مرحله بقى في strength بقى في مرحله بقى ممكن تمشي وثاني ما تطلع بقى ده time بقى when there's the capacity to hold position there is a different stage altogether. So time will come whereby we'll be holding مواطنين في محلات بتاعنا and then a difference will be there. مواطنين القاعد في areas بتاعنا ومواطنين القاعد في under IG then the differences will be there in terms of معاملة who is doing well with the مواطن. There I think bigger time they will be show difference. So I think they are what motivates Malo Ajay Lobong, the fact that he failed and the fact that he wants to galil al-haja al-hasil fi Eastern Equatoria regal the haja bes beshit, and that's why he was insisting on IO, and then to maximize the animosity al-hasa haliyan fi بين IG SPLM IG or SPLM IO al-hasa fi there for his personal interest. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you a lot, Mr. Suba. It's very good because the answer now from both of you is actually giving us the two page of the coins. Let's go to, this is the last question for both of you, and then from there we'll take also some question from the public. Before that, I will play like a short song here before we proceed. This question is for both of you. On your joint press release, I quote, "We also call on Governor Lobong to address the action of his own troops who have been reported to attack farmers and businesswomen transporting their goods to Juba. This incident, driven by hunger, lack of discipline, are contrary to the state of goals of maintaining peace and order in the region." Could you elaborate more on this statement, please? Let's start by Minita Zato, Brother Suba, and then we go to compatriot also, Lampol Gabriel. Yeah, from there.
Okay, shukran. I building on what I said, what we said earlier about the false or the misinformation peddled by Lobong, Bezat accusing direct illegal forces with the IO, Amul Ambusis, Saware, or Hajat Bishida. And then actually, if you report Betom that during the attack Betana, that we have even made some collateral damage to Moatinin or Hajat Bishida. So he was actually diverting the truth, the facts from diverting facts. لأنه what is happening هناك, there are reported cases بتاع looting, there are reported cases بتاع violations, بتاع accusing أفراد بتاع SSPDF بالذات targeting نساوين, targeting تجار who are doing their activities field farms and then carrying their things from farm to markets, either داخل الولاية or direct to Juba. لأنه the biggest market they have in Juba where you can be able to access good market and make good profit. So through checkpoints between that, and we know the element with the checkpoints. Even you remember incident al Hasil Makwi, someone when he was dropping mate Lelbor, who checkpoint can be around area Hinak, Jabu Mashakil. These checkpoints in South Sudan, Hinak is a common phenomenon, and they are not used for security purposes, but they are used for extortion, Lelgala, with the resources, Mintijar al-Bido. So these compatriots and the forces with the National Salvation Front or the forces with the SPLM IO mind new checkpoints, Mabukutu Habil Fisare, and then distorting resources minimum Latinin. Weta kan mind gurus fi zaman da mungkin bidugo, wata la gurus ita kan ma fi mungkin bisuluta fi yogaba, ubadak bisilu telefon bidugo le ahal bitan jibu gurus wa haja bishi kida. These are the things that these forces have been doing. So Lobong being raised with لجنة من الأمن في Eastern Equatoria, those are some of the things that he's supposed to raise. Those are some of the things that he's supposed to raise to the government in Juba. He's supposed to raise to command with a bill, bill from about the excessive behaviors with the SSPDF in Montega Beto. I'll be tab Moatinin Beto. The Moatinin will believe them. Lakin, he is quiet about all those things. That's why I can beg a few incident that I know there Castle Nepsu. He wants to wash himself. He wants to exonerate himself. This process with Canada is involving looting or harassing with al-Muatinin and the like. But he was not mentioning the real threat al-Behasil fil ajrada. Even within the government policy, remember the last governors forum al-Hasil, it has become a resolution between al-Asas, all these checkpoints must be removed. And this checkpoint, source that will be at the economic crisis in South Sudan. Live about insecurity to the best of the description. So this is actually the gist of the matter. Al-Behasil fi kullu mahalat, including the legendary. Lakin, unfortunately, because leadership these days, it's about employment. Leadership is about personal enrichment. Today, you don't talk about the flight of your citizens. And this is what is happening in Lobong. Instead of talking about the plight of the citizens of Eastern Equatoria who are suffering under the hands with a Jesh, with a Salva Kiir, he instead ordered the Bet Kalamde Zoltan Barao Al Maindul Moduda. And that's why Lam Gabriel was right when he was saying that the kind of the structure that Al forces with Canada, it is designed in a way that for purposes of accommodating, for purposes of able to convince, you see, the people around. You recruit and you look possibly for a command from the local area, such that this person will use his local experience and knowledge and expertise to exploit it for the advantage of the forces around. So you find that in most of the composition of our forces, you find that by even more than 40%, of the force, you'll find that are from the local area. You see, this is the nature and the composition of these forces are from the local area. So it is completely impossible, for instance, for you to at the end of the day, when you look at these people who are moving, you will either see your brother, you will either see your sister, you will either see your mother, you will either see your cousin, you will either see your in-law. In one way or another, maybe out of 100 people who are passing, you have a connection to one of them or two. This is the nature of this. Now, how then do you think it's possible for somebody to work against his own people? It's not possible. It cannot work like that. See that? And then it makes even life very simple. First of all, the survival strategy. It is very simple. You can be able to survive and maneuver your survivability in this kind of environment. Unlike somebody who is brought from somewhere, and first of all, he doesn't know the terrain, and secondly, he doesn't know the survival strategy of the people around. I come from Lanya, for instance. When you take me to any forest in Lanya, especially in Zaman Kharif, I will survive. There are many fruits that I know I can eat. There are many fruits that I know if I eat them, I will be full for 24 hours. There are fruits that if I take them in the absence of water, it gives me water. There are fruits, if I'm traveling for long distance, I will take them. It will take me for long distance. There are fruits, even if I want to become sick, I will take them. Tomorrow I will be sick. They are there. But then if you are somebody from another area and you find yourself in this terrain, you will not be able to, you will even eat a fruit that will make you sick and you will die. And you will not be able to survive this. So these allegations, compatriot Teresa, are just created to make stories out of nothing. But the fact is that these forces are really a headache to the people of South Sudan. Today I was reading a story of the incident of the boat in Upper Nile, where a boat of a certain trader in Malakal was hired to take SSPDF soldiers, and then the soldiers, the boat, I don't know how do you call them, whether they are drivers or what, pilots or whatever. 4 of them were shot by the same SSPDF who took them. You see that? So you can see you hired a boat of an innocent person to take you. Then at the end of the day, you go and you kill the persons who takes you. You look at these excesses behaviors that are there. But at the end of the day, many stories have been created that they are associated with tribal revenge or something like that. But of course, we don't know what is happening. But SSPDF and their leadership has a lot of things in this kind of things that are associated, whether being killing, whether being looting, whether being harassing of civilians and the like. And these that are happening in Western Equatoria are classical of this. And Lobong, instead of talking about those things, he doesn't want to talk about them. He was talking about these imaginary ambushes that comes in his mind that IO has been doing and the like. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Suba. On the same note, I'm going to also ask the same question to compatriot Lam. Like, for instance, on the joint press release, and I said we also call on Governor Lobong to address the action of his own troop, who have been reported to attack farmers and businesswomen transporting their goods to Juba. This incident, driven by the hunger and lack of discipline, are contrary to the state goals of maintaining peace and order in the region. Could you elaborate on this as well? Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you again, compatriot Teresa, for your question. Comrade Suba already answered most of it, but I'll just target some few areas with facts and evidence. Since I'll just refer to Magwe Road connected to Torit. There has been several attacks along the road on civilians, especially these women that buy food products or from farm, or maybe they just like get from their farm and take to Torit. We all know that the road via connecting Magwi to Nimule Road, that bridge got broken. So most of these traders usually those days used to use Torit Road. So there were several attacks that were recorded and reported. And when you look at the place where this attack happened, mostly it's not far from where there are security forces of the SSPDF or the police of the SPLM-IG. Also, when you look at these days, I heard also women are being stopped from moving to Juba with children because there is this belief that children have been abducted by people from Greater Pibor, which is now when you look at the checkpoints and where the incident always happen, it will never be a distance of 1 to 2 kilometers. How stupid will someone come and operate within a range where the SSPDF would rescue a civilian? So these are always done by the forces of the regime in Juba to stop the civilians from getting, because now when they just removed the food items or remove your money, they'll be blamed. So they include the issue of kidnapping or abducting children also in it. You see, this has been recorded and also reported. And that's why they are now saying that women should not move with children along these roads. Of recent, let me say around 2 weeks ago, we also saw a report from the Union of Journalists in Juba saying that a civilian was abducted from Magui because he reported, harassment from the SSPDF. In Magui, there were checkpoints. They were moving, but they were patrolling within Magui Center. Now let's be professional enough. Those who know Magui, how can you patrol in the center and say you're providing protection to civilians, and you're also mixing yourself with the civilians? Now civilians are not able to move around. You move, you meet them. When they meet them, you get beaten. Why do you move at night time? Yet the curfew was not set. So a civilian reported this, called the radio or the Freedom FM, which is in Magui, and reported this case, that this need to be addressed. The next morning, the person was taken, jailed after being beaten. He will be beaten to hospital level. These are situations that are happening with the forces of the SPLM-IG or the SSPDF against the innocent civilians in Eastern Equatorial State. I don't want to go outside Eastern Equatorial State because we are focused on that. Otherwise, if we have to cross, we saw what happened in Western Equatoria when innocent civilians were killed just because they said they were put on clothes resembling SPLM-IU. As long as you are not part of SSPDF and you are a youth, they find you, they kill you. As compatriots put it, after always when we attack the SSPDF, after humiliating them properly, they turn their anger on innocent civilians. This has been happening. That's why we said Lobong need to address or put into line their soldiers that are starving. Because these people stayed for long without salaries. We all know that, we are aware of this. No salaries, no food rations that is given to them. You survive on checkpoints. Or if you don't survive on checkpoint, you also lose, because you also have families. Some of them have got kids in school. Some of them kids in hospital that need to be helped. You have women that you need to take care of them. Now you don't have salaries, you don't have food ratios. Where will you go? With us, the SPLO is not a major problem because we already accepted our fate. In most of our bases, people are cultivating. We have food items, we have cassava, we have produce maize. If you go to other places like Western Equatoria, they have big gardens that you cultivate so that you have food. And also, as I put it, because of our good relationship with civilians, there are places where even civilians are the one that contribute food and bring to you the food. Let me say in our bases. This has happened and it is still happening. So we know that the SSPDF and the SPLM-IG security organs are misbehaving, are indisciplined, and harassing our civilians. These civilians do not need to be harassed. They have suffered a lot. And the cause of their suffering is also because of the regime in Juba. If the regime was serious and they need peace, and the regime want really to make sure that there is development in that country, they will not be doing what they are doing, looting the country of its own resources, making sure that civilians continue suffering, run to refugee camps, you are harassed, And also, just to put things right in regards to the structure we are talking about. Others may later say that, okay, our composition is tribal. No, it is not like that. We talk of only the command. But when you come to our forces are from everywhere. When you come right now in Eastern Equatorial State, you will find people from Greater Pibor, they are there. People from Greater Yi, they are there. From Central Equatorial, Western Equatorial, they're all in Eastern Equatorial State. Even from the Greater Panel, you find them there. Some also, as far as Greater Bargazal, you find them in Torit, but only that the command is the one which is put so that they are able to control and streamline rules and regulation in the area. When you go to Central Equatorial State, you also find the same. Greater Ye, we have division there. Now, this division is commanded by a commander from the area, but there are forces from all sorts of South Sudan in that place. But it is not like when you come to the SSPDF is different. Yes, we know that, okay, the commanders mostly are selected from one area. And when they come there, they look at you from there, from your own place, they look at you as an enemy. Because you support your brother who is in the bush, you become an enemy straight away. I remember one day I was traveling from Magui to Torit. When I reached the checkpoint, someone was like, "Can I see your ID?" I said, "Why?" That because you don't look like you belong here. I said, with this mark, I knew it was from Upper Nile. I told him, if it is like that, then let me look at the ID. Because I look like someone from Eastern Equatorial, but you look like someone from Upper Nile. You see. So this is the difference that we have between the SSPDF and the SPLIO, and also with NAS. You see, our composition is strictly community friendly. We don't want to harass our civilians. We don't want to cause problem in our premises to our civilians and to our people. So, yes, we point fingers straight at Lobong and their forces, and they have to make sure they improve on that relationship. Otherwise, this is not stopping. This is not stopping. As long as they continue harassing civilians, we will always be available to show our presence and make sure our civilians are protected. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you a lot, Compatriot Lampol. It's a very important. I really want to thank you, both of you for this. Let me just mute here. Sorry. Yeah. I just really want to thank you both for this public awareness campaign, as it is really very important, especially since social media has become a very powerful tool for delivering messages as quickly as possible. So we thought it was very important, since yes, the joint press release was published, but we thought also it's good to bring both of you to really come and give this awareness to our people. This is very important, and I appreciate all that both of you also accepted to come to this session of today. Let me go to compatriot Dominic. Do you have anything like any question before we move to the public?
Yeah, thank you so very much. I have some questions, but then I will have to.
Yeah, maybe first we need to ask also the two compatriots here. We want to know how long that they can really stay with us here. Compatriot Lam, compatriot Suba, if you want to stay for 1 hour, 2 hour maximum, or you have some other program elsewhere. So then we will not bombard you with a lot of questions from the public.
I'm not gonna ask, but it's also a good one to know.
Yes.
How long are they willing to stay here? I'm not really sure, but yeah, definitely we're not gonna take them to a very long marathonic ride, because we also wanted them to go and do other stuff. I was just laughing when Suba, you were talking about the fact that you can eat anything in the forests of Lanya. That reminds me of that famous, incident that happened to the commandos back then, who were brought from Khartoum to fight, and they landed up in a field that is full of karangma. They think that was a very good buffer, so they ate it, and some of them eventually died. Yeah, so that happens. But my first, reaction was how cowards some of these guys can be. All along, Lobong was quiet, chewing the resources of this country. Nothing like happened. But by the time his territory was tampered with, I mean, he started crying loud. لأنه الكلام وصل في الحوش. It is near them. When they hear the bullets and the fighting near their loved ones, they will also start to think twice. I think going forward, the strategy must continue along that way and change. I will not talk about that. I'll leave it to the Galand forces. But you can see that once your space is being compromised, and you started hearing the sounds of the gun, then you will also think twice that these people are not joking. So bravo. The people to go for us. And by the way, if the likes of General Thomas didn't take the war near to Hamashkoreb, some of these people will not understand that indeed there was war in South Sudan, and this war can encroach and reach them at the rate of time. So that in and of itself is good. But the question that I really wanted to ask you people is that I think Suba, and it goes to Omar Lam. Now, you guys know that both the National Salvation Front and the SPLM-IO have put their heads together. They have come and they have been working together. And the ramifications of this working together has managed to not only create a very favorable and peaceful conditions among these forces, but it was able to let you people achieve what you are achieving now, the things that you have talked to us. And I like to salute all our gallant forces with their commands in this very great work. My question is that since this is a model that has worked so very well, and we know very well that we are all working for the people of this country, and we wanted to bring their suffering to a dignified end. Yet we know that there are other, forces operating, out there. And there are plans, to bring them on board so that the rank and files are united. If not, because when I talk of unity, I'm not talking of a merge, a political merge. We unite so that we can be able to politically achieve the political objectives and also use the military tool in order to safeguard and expedite these political solutions so that our people will come to a point where they will, be happy because the second freedom has already come. So those people who are outside there, what are you doing with them? Are there plans, something like this on the way, so that a grand coalition may be formed eventually? Because from the behavior of the government, the way we are looking at it, they are not ready and they are not prepared to even abide by what they have signed as an agreement. And this will continue to go like that unabated for sure. Over to you, compatriot. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, let me start with the answers. Yeah, thank you very much, compatriot Dominic, for this question. Yeah, we have started this in the Greater Equatorial Region because we, as SPLIO, we were aware of the presence of NAS in Central Equatoria, Eastern Equatoria, Western Equatoria, and we thought it was wise and it was good for us to have a unified front together. There was no way we could succeed in our mission when we don't have a cooperation agreement with the forces of Thomas Sirleaf. That was not going to be okay with us. So we recognize their presence, we recognize their power, we recognize their strength, and so we chose to work together. And I also like to, at this juncture, also take this opportunity to thank General Thomas and also Honorable Nathaniel Yet for making sure that this cooperation agreement really works, and also the forces on the ground, in particular from the SPLIO side, General Ladu Tongun, who was able to move under the command of General Benjamin in Central Equatoria to move up to where the forces of General Thomas was stationed. Wasn't very easy. We have to move all that distance, and also our chief of or the director of military intelligence was also part of the team that came, and he made sure that this agreement was reached without any problem, because with such kind of coming together, there are people who will be having serious questions left and right. But he was there to make sure that, okay, our position was taken seriously, that we really meant business. And also from the side of General Thomas, we had Ramadan and his compatriots who are also with him. So it went smoothly on the ground. So within Equatorial region, I can confirm that we have made a very great move, these two forces. Yes, we still have other forces that we need to bring on board within Equatoria. Like there is these forces for Laho Mario, who is currently in Nairobi with Tumaini. We don't know whether they still want to stick to Tumaini or come on board. That is his decision. But it will be good if we realize the importance of us coming together. Also, before coming to, we were able also to meet the forces of Kenyilo Buron in Lanya, and they are also very happy with the idea. So within Equatoria, I believe very soon all these forces will be unified. Let me say, will be brought together so that we have a unified front. In the Greater Upper Nile, there is, that place is too big, and because of the flood in Upper Nile at the moment, meeting is becoming very difficult. But at leadership level, there are communications that are happening, and I believe very soon maybe some deal will be reached so that we're able now to operate as a very strong unified forces that will be working to achieve a common goal. Our challenge will be with our, there are political parties that are purely political with no military presence on the ground. And this become a little bit complicated, because at the moment we are taking the lead from the ground to make sure that the forces are able to work together. But at level of the politics, we leave that to the politicians to handle. But we just hope that we will come to an agreement and make sure that, okay, we have a very strong front. So yes, there are measures being put in place to make sure that, okay, we have a very powerful unified front with all the other opposition forces that are there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, compatriot Lam. That's really a great message for our people to hear. It's really promising. Compatriot Dominic, do you have anything to add?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave you, Omar, but the problem is I can't leave you go without asking your opinion on this kangaroo court that is going in Juba. Especially, we have been witnessing the first 4 days of that court was able to inform us of what will be, the trade of the events. And now, up to now, this court is dragging and dragging. What are your opinion on this issue? Now that it has become evident the truth that the main signatory of the revitalized agreement, the resolution of conflict in South Sudan. And you may remember very well that when this agreement was penned, the names of the two principals were there. But for one principal to be mishandling his counterpart in that way, what is it for this agreement after all? So over to you.
Yeah, this question is seriously political, but yes, I will answer briefly the best way I can. Yes, when I was among the first team that went to Juba, I led it to Juba on 18th December 2018. The revitalized agreement, especially the security arrangement, which was our priority. When General Gabriel Jock was the chairperson of Joint Defense Board, and also the CDF of the SSPDF, he had the agreement at heart, and he also had the country at heart. We were able to move miles with the implementation. And I remember at that time, instead of disengaging the forces, we came with what we call confidence building, where these forces need to move to one place and greet each other, talk to each other freely. Were able to move to here. I was among also the first people who went to here in 2018 without my weapons. Matches was very difficult, but here I had to go because it was an order that was given to me that you go to. So we went to here and came back. The SSPD also came to us in Panyime and also went back. Those happened everywhere, even in Greater Upper Nile, it happened. Pagak was one of the best examples so far, where they even created a place for them to play dominoes and ludos. That was something that we really had at hand. But things start changing when the politicians realized that this agreement was going to be implemented if the security was left to move forward with whatever they were doing. So General Ajok was removed, and they brought my brother, General JJ. Then the undermining started. See, JJ was just put there to be above, and he was given orders to make sure the SSPD was put in line and the agreement was implemented. But people started violating even his directives. Things became bad. Attacks started happening in the training centers, in the cantonment sites. We lost almost 3 to 4 cantonment sites in Upper Nile. Then also, when JJ was removed, they brought Santino there. We also lost training centers, especially in Equatoria. We lost Morota in Kejikeji. Then also some cantonment sites in Upper Nile also were lost. So technically, the agreement from that time was destined to collapse. But the good thing with Dr. Machar, politically, but for us military, it was bad because he knew this was going to cause us problem, but he really wanted peace. He chose dialogue. He would engage the president. He would engage the joint mechanisms to make sure whatever was happening was stopped. If today the situation in Nasir is being used as an example or as the major cause for the collapse of the agreement, does that mean that the other areas, especially because the Nasir incident only happened once, that was in March. But before March, there were a series of attacks that happened in Greater Equatoria. Let me say in Western Equatoria. The governor was attacked. Before even the governor, when they were trying to open the checkpoints, opening the road from Meridi to, let me say, from Yambio to Western Equatoria, let me say to Western Baragazal, there were a series of attacks. Even we lost a general, General Simon. Does that mean the lives of those civilians or soldiers that were killed in Greater Equatoria or in Western Equatoria and Western Baragazal, their lives are less important than the lives of the SSPDF general that was killed by the White Army? If we're really talking sense in its real capacity, every life matters. Whether it's a life on Equatoria, whether it's a life of a Zande, whether it's a life of a Nuer, whether it's a life of a Dinka, every life should matter to everybody. But not the life of one person and you undermine the life of the other one. Is it because he's an IO? But he's a South Sudanese. Why didn't you want to take the lives of other people very serious, want to consider us to be very serious? The incident in Nasir, if someone is responsible for it, is the current CDF of the SSPDF, who decided to push all of us aside who were in Juba because we were there. We told him clearly, please let the civilians in Nasir wanted a unified force. He refused. I was among those that were shortlisting the unified forces in and reorganizing, putting a military formation and sending them to deploying them in Upper Nile, Western Bargasal, or even Equatorial. We did several, almost, I don't know, six battalions that were deployed. I was among those who were busy doing that thing. So when the incident, or before the incident, when there was discussion and agreement that Nasir, we need to send a unified force there, we went to Eastern Equatorial, we brought our forces to Juba. There were some that were brought from Baragazal region. There were some that were brought from Upper Nile. Then this was supposed to be put together, then sent to Nasir. These forces, even when the Nasir attack happened, they were still in Luri, waiting for them to be taken. But the chief of defense forces, General Ponang, decided that he wanted to take the SSPDF there, and no one is supposed to say anything about it. Yet we were members of the Joint Defense Board. Anything to do with deployment, it was our role as the JDB to make sure that this peace continued to be implemented. But what happened? He pushed his way. Instead of taking a national force, he decided to take the Agwelek and the Abushok. So the Nuer civilian realized that they were going to be disarmed by the Agwelek and the Dinkangok. So they thought, okay, fine, this is an attack to us. And that was why the incident in Nasir happened. It had got nothing to do with Dr. Machar. Completely nothing. It was Polnang who's responsible. Where is sincere? Polnang is responsible for this 100%. And when General Adak was killed, we also, during his funeral, the incitement. How can the whole of the defense minister and the CDF is speaking dialect? Was that not incitement? The vice president Badel Bolmel in dialect, CDF in dialect, and Minister of Defense in dialect. What does that mean? Were we You mean the SSPDF were all Dinka? Or you mean all those that died there were Dinka? We have sons of Eastern Equatorial who were killed also in Nasser. So the trial that is happening is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's just the president trying to shame Dr. Machar for a mistake he didn't do. In reality, the president should take full responsibility for whatever that happened in Nasser, because Dr. Machar tried his best to stop this. You see, so I know that yes, the court is happening, but we know there is nothing. If we go to reality, this is of saying he may be pardoned. Why do you have to pardon someone who didn't do you wrong? That is not pardoning. There is nothing called pardoning for a mistake he did not do. He just need to be that court doesn't have any jurisdiction, first of all, to try the president. His immunity is not being removed up to today. He doesn't have the power. The president doesn't have the power to remove the immunity of the first vice president because he is part of the agreement. His name is in the agreement. But because this is kangaroo country, we just do things the way we want or the way we think that we think we have power. The president thinks he has power for everything over everybody. And because also, some region decide to support him blindly. But he knows that without the foreign force, his force will never do anything. That's why there are presence of foreign force there inside. Without the presence of foreign force, do you think SSPDF will start anything against the SPLI or no? Even now, whatever weapons they're using, whatever equipment they're using, they're playing in this is not even theirs. You see? So this court to us, SPLI is completely not having the jurisdiction, or doesn't even have the capacity to do it, and whatever they're doing is just a wishful hunt, which is not going to help anybody. We know at the end, if we really mean business, if we need to mean justice, Dr. Machar will be removed, and then we'll see from there. Because I know many people even ask this, and someone might have already asked down here, or someone is still waiting to ask. I want to answer it straight away before it even asked. If Dr. Machar is reinstated back, what is the fate of the SPLIO and NAS agreement? This is something that I know majority have been asking. We are aware, as I put it earlier, that this struggle is not only for Dr. Machar, it's not only for the SPLIO, it is for the people of South Sudan. Will that agreement bring peace to this country? I don't think so. If the agreement is still there, I believe it is a political part of it. But the security arrangement is done. The SSPDF will not allow this issue of unification of forces because they know. I was among those that did even the unification of their forces to us. They were calling us that we have generals. The SPLI will have got generals more than them. So let's go to reality. The SSPDF don't have even a private. A private SSPDF don't have it. They start from NCOs upward. No private. If I'm lying, let anyone from my city come forward and say he's a private. We saw it when we were trying to put this paramilitary formation. SPLIO was able to give their private JAMA with all the private that is required plus their NCOs. But SSPDF, they bring their NCOs and put them that they are private. But at the same time, they said no, during salaries, when they're going to receive their salaries, they're supposed to receive it with their ranks. So if you are there, supposing Tayanak, Arif, of SPLIO, you are there commanding someone who is a sergeant inside, a confirmed sergeant by the president, by the way. You see, that is the challenge that we face there, but no one wants to talk about it because we thought we're supposed to go for peace. So that agreement, the security arrangement part of it is done. If there is anything, do you think the SPLIO will say, let's go back? After being pushed from Juba out, after being ashamed, after being killed in Juba, you are sent out and they just want us to come back. No, that's not going to work. If there is anything, there's going to be a new framework. But I know I don't have the power to say this, but this is our position as the military. I believe when that time comes, this is where it is going to go. Even Dr. Machar will not just say, you come. I don't think he will be forced to do this because he knows that this is going to take us nowhere. It is not about us, the SPLIO, anymore. It is about the people of South Sudan. It is about this innocent civilian that are suffering. It's about everybody. Thank you.
No, thank you so very much, Omar. I'm most satisfied. In fact, they said you Shahid Malik. You know, you were there, you know, and your answer were really satisfactory. Because in one way or another, the people of this country, since we are fighting for them, they need to get informed. And I think from time to time, this podium is yours. We have our diversity in other podiums. You will accord to you, audience, so that when things like this happen, you can come and talk. Because if we, like what Subhash Samuel said earlier, if we don't come and fill the blanks with our true stories, the government will infiltrate it with its propaganda, and it will leave people within the inverted commas of either to believe and not to believe, and to find the truth will be very difficult. But some people don't also read. I believe now with your voices, that will be recorded, it will be sent to a number of people, and therefore they will now know what exactly had happened. So I wanted to really thank you so very much for your coming and answering this question. I'll stop it at here. I will not want to ask other questions that have political nature, because that is not the day for it. But one thing that you have said, so very important to me, and I would like to conclude with it, is this of the pardon. Because if somebody, if I decide to pardon someone, or if you decide to pardon me, at least there must be, especially in a situation where there is this kind of a court case going. Up to now, we do not know the verdict of the court. So what are you going to pardon me on? Because there's no verdict to be determined. There's no guilty here. If somebody decided to accept the pardon, it is like as if you have accepted and confirmed that whatever has been said of all these allegations is true. So I hope Chairman Riak and the SPLM-IO fraternity are aware of this, and I think your answer is indeed in place. What is it that you are pardoning me for? What have I done? It must be established first. Otherwise, it is just lava bitat iyal sugar. And for us not to go down the memory line like what people are talking, portraying Salva Kiir as like a God-fearing saint, that cannot be. So that history must not repeat itself again, that, in 1991, this person does this, and in 1991, and it become a song of these days, even among those people who are not born. And I'm afraid, 20 years down the line, some people will still be talking about the presidential pardon, when actually he has never done anything. So thank you so very much. Let me leave it at here.
Yeah, thank you, compatriot Dominic. And I want to really appreciate the compatriot Colin Elam for his last, answer to your question. Yeah, because Kira is actually used to this attitude of always pulling people feet, and then again we let you go, and then again if he feel like things are going not to his favor, and then he will try to play this ground. And time has come for the people of South Sudan really to stand their ground. Yeah, thank you very much for this answer. And I want to acknowledge all our compatriots, and I could see also among the audience Chairman General Thomas. He's also present among the listeners. We salute you, Chairman, for being here today with us as well. My question to the two brothers, compatriot Lam and compatriot Suba, we want to know how long time do you have to be here, because maybe we'll have like 2 or 3 people coming up on the stage if they want to ask, or if we have some question on the comment section for you. And I'm out of later come back there again sa 10 nusisa. Let me know first before we proceed.
I think I'll be here Nusa, not beyond that, because I'm already receiving some calls on the ground, so I need to be able to attend to them. That's why.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Maybe you make it 1 hour.
Okay, 1 hour for you and 30 minutes
Maybe
for.
just maybe make 1 hour for both of us all. Then we disappear, so that we are able to clarify some of other things. Maybe Lam, how do you look at it?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Kalas 1 hour from here. Okay, no problem. So we'll give chance. Meanwhile, we play Guna Suker Kidamama, but Shakal Kulu.
Maybe before I want to add something very little.
Okay, go on, please. Yeah.
In terms of mostly in terms of metaphors. You see this court case which is going on in Juba. People can film Hindi. Tasukta film Hindi there. Ita karai tutaban fi batal izol tani de al zol kap
Khayana.
kain ay wo fi batal yala fi nihaya taban ita bilugo gale ya zol kain da yani jaqatlu khalas film de bes inta kida yala taban kanta en bitu kubuni ya de ba bulu fogo timsil taban film Hindi yani kanu de jebel ya go dubu wala sunu kida. So beta dagal be has fi Juba de film Hindi de ma fi iya haja tani nak de film Hindi o balim bes be akir ita jana baaro fi no aflam al bes be akir yere bidun hagiga bito ita bes jana gal the end. So they are exactly what is happening. But the truth is Salva Kiir, the issue with the transition in terms of masalan the people of South Sudan getting legitimacy or participating in electing their leaders, they had a Roma there. Ajalism status quo must remain who best. This thing, historically, where SPLM we fought for 21 years and the like, and therefore Zoltan, we decide fate, they want mother. Now, these brothers who decided to go in and honestly participate in peace and a peace agreement and the like, despite weaknesses with the agreement there and the like, at the end of the day, they went and honed Yamada fi Juba, and then Jabulom Gaman, all accusation against the whole thing. Now, the game plan become, ma ishtakal kaman. That's the problem. Italu kandamul evil lesol. At the end of the day, this same evil will even work against you. Now, when you look at all their game plans, are not going again according to their plans, and that's why Zol become al Jabo Minsuk. Jabo Minsuk, Min Konyo. Now they took him out. Now everything now changed. Can file with destruction with the SPLM now has to now all these things is going to change. Now it is a lesson to everybody. And even if there are people of South Sudan who are maybe saying that this is a lesson to IO, to me this is not only a lesson to IO, it is a lesson all to the people of South Sudan. Regime da, yani, for how long they will continue to sabotage the interests of the people of South Sudan from time to time and bring some supporting argument, the decision with Malumo Bamlo Galat, And people, at the end of the day, Nasmat, at the end of the day, Fikasara, at the end of the day, people are pushed back. Nations, I am at the Bunus Kalamat with a Gamar, then as Munubra for Gamar, Pisunu Amulena. Like for us here, the question, the simple question is how to govern ourselves. Yes, how to govern ourselves, they will do Al Kabir. And I want to end the point daily. Fi mata fatani kaman. Yani among Bari, nas Bari Barov. Fi gisa. Gal fi wahid zolta lizim to Germany asur bo moya ta koru kullu fi dunia. And I think gisa de be relatedly dictator. Asur bo moya ta dunia kullu Germany de gal animal fi asur bo moya kullu. So after asur bo moya gal nas biga fi mutu be maja ma fi moya. Biga wata bitala Sahara le annu khairan kullu biga ma innu moya. So people bigger now, Germany guy nangurta binu mai to be simal to bare la no mo vivi jo barna to gulu. Ita sutta hela belet kullu bigger kana nas bi mutu ba musnu ma fi ya haja nas bi doru fi kullu mahal ita mo biligo ya haja. Exactly. DJ haja salfa kera mul fi beled. Now wahid walad bigger ya jata ma solution gal ya jama ma moyo ala surbu kullu ala jibu problem do kullu da fi barna da Germany na. Fi na so أنا كان بس راسه الجول تاني السكر طبعا جرمني تقول كبير ما بعاين بس بدخل بتجهز كده مع الحرب عطانوا وطنا بتاع جرمني ده أنا تاني بطنا بتاع جرمني ده مو ده كله بتاع برا ومو ده بيرجع في كور بيرجع في بوين في متنو كله بيرجع وأنا كله بيستفيد في كلام ده فلان ده سكسي ده مرة تراجع ده مو كله برا so it refers back to us the people of South Sudan يا جماعة Germany bitana de ya Salva Kiir ma hukuma to de they have taken everything we have made us destitute in our own land ma induna iya haja al madaris ma fi kal mustashfa ma fi saware ma fi shogol ma fi ay iya haja ma fi refugees nas kul bijere bara asa ay madaga nas magal nas biga bejana al fi ma fi maqayman nas kaman bijere lakin to bijere wara kaman be katolu ta khulisa na to bijere wara so off and on because of one person. Solution da, badna da Germany da bijidu. Moya lo silo kulu alkan bi benefit anna da birija ora fi Kairan na kan bi stefit for gore. Unas bi stefit for. But this is where people will now survive. So unless nas rija ora by idea, nas bija keep, and this is what we started. We started by, first of all, looking at those people who has presence in the ground. لأننا نعرف نقال where are the strength بتاع سلفا strength بتاع سلفا في جروس strength بتاعه ده في جيش بتاعه strength بتاعه ده في connection بتاعه مع members البارا ديل. Now diplomatic work بتاعنا شغال كويس ما بطال and that's why you can see diplomatically هم في pressure. حاجة المهم ده جروس ده ما يتبع يقام جروس ده كانت if you have strengthened your forces في ground انت ممكن بقدر جو جروس ده لكن حاجة المهم ده اللي هو strength بتاعه ده if we are able to strengthen يعني forces بتاعنا تحت أنا بقدر طلع مويه ده على زول شالو ده أنا بطلع economy لو restrict لنفسه ده سرقة لو كده عمل ده will stop it all these violations اللي هم بعمل against people of South Sudan ده نحن بقدر stop له so the point الجبال Dominic أسأله ده yes this cooperation will coming together بتراجع ده is one of the biggest solution. If anything can even contribute 70% less success with a struggle. لكن the question ده بقى هل كلنا جادين to face زول جرماني ده هل we are جادين and that's why when our forces في ground alone منفيل لا يا جماعة ما جماعة أدو بتاعنا لنا بشكل ده ما ده زول ده في جوبا ده and ده زميل بشكل وانا كمان بشكل so what is our problem among ourselves if it is only that Zolla so this necessitated the military cooperation al-Hassa de Biga tested and it is working so politically yes it can go the direction like you cannot انت ما بقدر يجي زول ده بخصم ساكت، انت ما بقدر يجي زول ده بخطابه ساكت، لكن انت بقدر threaten هو when you check ولا انت جاي touch the same tool اللي هو بيوزه to oppress you ده، انت بيوز نفس التول ده هو بيرسبكت it. He will respect you. And that's why when we are talking about this cooperation or this coming together, the priority is actually those with the boots in the ground. Because if we are able to mobilize them, they will have a quick impact. Quick impact. Then أنا كان bonus كلام ده معايا ده. Yes, في stage تاني البيجي، في stage بيجا الدير political consensus. يعني minimum program, political program دايرين. مثلا سؤال ممكن بيجي قال في كل الاكتيفيتيز اللي انا بعمل له this military activities اللي انا بعمل له all of a sudden كان بقى جاي لقينا قال العدو ده ضعيف. So بس بعد هجوم كده جري، بعد هجوم جري إتم جاي لقوا بعده إتم بقى في جوبا، الحكومة بقى في يد بتاعهم. At that time ما عندهم political program. What do you think will happen? rivalry بيجا في الناس بتاعهم، confusion بيجا في الناس بتاعهم، ممكن إتم جاي بتساجري في النفوس بتاعهم and it will cause problem. It will be worse. People will begin to say هسا جاي جنوبين هسا يمان بقول قال يابا لو كان عرفنا كده والله استفتى ده أحسن ما نطلع من جلابة. ليه؟ لأنه بقى الناس عينوا نفسه حاجات اللي كان جلابة بام اللي بقى أسوأ، حاجات اللي بيحسن اللي بقى أسوأ من زول أسود وزول أخوك كده يعمل لك ده بقى أسوأ من حاجة الجلابة بام. So bigger people are not preferring life اللي كان بتاخده ده. You see? So they are this kind of move usually go together. But priority ده في at moment the issues بتابوت to challenge the fundamental tool Salva Kiir use, which is now the military at first, and then the rest of the thing will definitely follow. Aye. And then when it comes to issues with group يا جماعة طبعا opposition, when you call yourself an opposition خلاص whether come rain or shine they are the sign. لكن يعني بكره بعد بكره you speak a different thing, بكره بعد بكره you speak the other thing, it doesn't help. And that's why building consensus it usually take time, especially when you can now reach to level al-Ghali we are like-minded political group. At that level, when you have passed through a lot of tests, so it's a nidal تشغل بدأ من 2013 لحد هسه يعني تجربة مثلا البيجا قال people are working together في ground for the first time يعني ده حصل, and this is less than 7 months في operations. And you look at the time الكلنا pass, and even our history مع IO ما في beginning كان بطل يعني كان we are looking ourselves as serious enemies, لكن faith brought us together to this level الفيدة كده ده. So it will usually when you dream that this is what I want to achieve at life and this is the destination, في obstacles كتير في محل that you have to pass, and you will have a very dirty history to process ده كله. لكن at the end of the day if you focus at that destination, no matter how you reach there, it لازم you have to persevere all these challenges until it goes to the level الفينال. So this aspect with a commitment the unity with the opposition and working together there is what we strongly believe in. But at the moment, we strongly prioritize boots in the ground. This is the direct way now that the enemy can feel that there is really a challenger which is competing with them. Either can control the towns, or if control with the roads, or if control with the power with all human grab legally. من ناس. شكرا.
شكرا كومبارتر الصبا. ده كلام صح، وده تجاوز كبير جدا الشوط القطع ايو مع ناس. And that's why we say Viva Ayo and Nas Goa. So أنا داير نشغل قنا صغير كده وندي فرصة أي زول كان جاء خليه يسأل سؤال واحد ويكون سؤال قصير عشان يدي فرصة ل compatriot Colonel Lam Paul Gabriel and Mr. Subas Samuel يقدر يجاوب لأنه زمانهم بسيط جدا. فضل. They just يعني for those who want to join on the stage. And then the other thing, please don't ask security question because you will be wasting your time. We are not going to allow this kind of question to be answered. بس انت فوكس في كلام الحصل يا هو في اسم شنو ده في ايسترن ايكواتوريا ده هم شرحوا من قبل. وانا بشكركم كثير. كنا بس عشان كده انا اشرب مويه شويه. كنا شغل قلنا ده بسيط كده يا انا براقي دم. Yeah, sorry.
Give thanks and praise to the Most High NMI for the people of South Sudan, you know. Let's come together so we can resolve our own problems. Peace and unity more important to our country.
Yeah, ده طبعا كنا من رفيق بتاعنا أو compatriot جيمي سانترلينا وريكا أنا بحيو فعلا ده حقيقة. سانتجيريو قاسلو إيجاد قاسلو وناس كله قاسلو مشكلة الجنوبين شنو. فهنا أنا بديكم فرصة. أنا شايف برضو compatriot دندرة هنا وعضو برضو سفير في SPLM آيو. أنا بديك فرصة دندرة تخلي السؤال يكون واحد وفي البوينت. يا اتفضل.
تريزا أنا مسموع؟
نعم أنت مسموع. يا
أول حاجة خليني أحييك مولانا تريزا. نحيي أخوي كومريد دومينيك ونحيي الناطق الرسمي بتاع الآيو لام والناطق الرسمي بتاع جبهة الخلاص السبا. وفي معنا دان هنا برضو دان ناو. بنسلم عليكم. بنسلم للناس التحت كلهم. أنكل في موجود جنرال سيباي والجماعة دي كلهم. أنا ما جاي نسأل سؤال يا تريزا. جيت بس أشكرك شكر كبير وأشكر غرفة بتاع GMC إنه قدروا يجيبوا لنا الناس زي والجنوبيين اسمه مباشرة من خشوم. الناس المسؤولين مباشرة من العمليات. زمان كان قاعدين بيقولوا ده بروباغندا. الآن أنا يعني ده واحد من أكبر الإنجازات يا مولانا تريزا نشكرك عليه. ونقول لأخواني دي الرفاق بتاعنا دي وجودكم هنا ما تتخيل هو بيخدم جنوبين قدر شنو. يعني زمانكم ما ضاع باي ذا واي. ده حاجة مهم جدا. الحاجة اللي انتوا عملتوها الليلة أنا ما بعرف أنا أوصف لكم كيف. لكن ده حاجة كبيرة جدا جدا والجنوبيين محتاجين له إنه يجي يسمعوا منكم مباشرة عشان الحاجه يكون بحقيقه، لانه لما تجيب الزول المسؤول من الحاجه يجي يتكلم وحتى يقبل يساله ثاني ما في زول بقدر اقاعد. انا بشكركم بس للحضور بتاعكم، بشكر مولانا تريزا ده والناس بتاع جي ام سي، ده الحاجه اللي جيت نقوله. وانا متاكد انا سمعت منكم الاثنين المعارضه زي ما انتم قلتوا ان احنا زول كان ما داير يحترمك، زول قدر ما تعمل معاه حاجه كان ما بيحترمك كان الا تديه كف عشان من بعد ذاك يقدر يفهم ان انت قاعد تتكلم معاه كويس. فشكرا لكم، شكرا مولانا تريزا، ده الموضوع اللي انا جيت فوق. شكرا.
يا شكرا كثير سفير نندرة. نشكرك لوجودك هنا وللتحية بتاعك. يا شكرا جزيلا. The next person in line اللي هو أنكل لادو. أنت عندك سؤال واحد أو كان عندك كومنت واحد وخليك في لاجئك، خليك precise يعني. Thank you.
يا شكرا مولانا تريزا، دومينيك، مودريتاس كله، وخلينا نسلم مستر لام ومستر صباح والإخوة جنوبين اللي بيسمع علينا تحت في روم بتاع جي ام سي. ده كلام تمام إنه وجود في الجماعة ده قدامنا عشان نعرف الحقائق الماشية في الميدان. الزمن ما بيسمع لك أنا بيفسر سؤالي أنا بيسأل، لكن سؤال بتاعي فعلا صبا ولام كلام فيه. أنا ما قادر نفهم كويس إنه إذا في ديل، لأنه حكومة بيكون ما مرتاح بانتصارات اللي بيعملوا التحالف ديل الاثنين ديل، حكومة ما مرتاحة، فالحكومة لازم بيفكر طريقة إنه يكسر هذا التحالف. سؤال، إذا حكومة فكر عشان يكسر هذا التحالف وخارجوا دكتور يغمشر بالديل إنه نخرج برا واخرب لنا التحالف ده، هل ناشونال سالفيشن فرونت واي او كيف يحفظوا هذا التحالف في الديل بين رياض مشار وسالفا كير في خروجه من السجن؟ شكرا.
نزلني كده انا قاعد احاول نقول ما
اوكي يا شكرا استاذ لادو. انكل لادو سوري، انا بدي سؤال ده طبعا ده لمناس او ممكن يبدا. تفضل.
شكرا تريزا، وشكرا لادو لسؤال. طبعا السؤال بتاع لادو ده هو اقرب من السكيورتي بريكوشن questions اللي قبل انت قلت في اسئله فوق السكيورتي نيتشر we're not going to discuss about it. والسؤال بتاع لادو ده actually he's asking a strategic question. If it's strategic,
صوت قطع. صوبا انتوا سامعيني يا جماعه؟
انا بسمع لكن تمام. انا بسمع تمام.
No, صوت ده كان قطع. كان قطع صوتك كان قطع.
هسه كويس؟
هسه ورجع. انت قال ده strategic question.
so انقول لادو لو كان تسمعني الكويشن بتاعك في محله، اللي هو strategic و tactical question at the same time tactical issue. في discussions بتاعنا we discuss a lot of things, a lot of issues, scenarios طبعا جا، ودائما في anything
قطع تاني. انا يوم ما سامع ولا ده؟
لكن انا بسمعك تمام، انا ما اعرف مشكله.
No, وقطع دي كان
لا صوتك قطع.
صوت قطع.
وقطع. انت قلت يا انت قلت مشكله مش يا تفضل.
Well, أنا بقول قال دائما في الarrangement ده of this nature, there are two important things that you must put into consideration. One, your entry strategy and exit strategy. دائما ما تدخل في حاجة على إنت at the end of the day إنت ما بكون عنده مدخل بتاع الخروج. إنت شفتها؟ ده في
قطع تاني Mr. Suba. صوت ده قطع تاني. You need to touch your screen. We can't hear anything.
I think Suba is mobile. That's why Mal Victoria becomes
Are you moving?
Is it okay?
It
Is it okay now?
regulation. Yes, it has an nagasma. It
أيوة.
دخول استراتيجية دخول وخروج. Yeah.
أيوة دائما في الarrangement له كده بالذات which is involving political and military issues لازم انت بيكون عندك exit and entry strategy عشان at the end of the day طبعا البوينت بتاع الاي تنظيم هو survival لازم survival ده مهم. So Uncle Ladu في discussions بتاعنا all these scenarios are taken into consideration.
طلع بكون بس موضوع بتاع الشبكة معلش يا جماعة ده موضوع بتاع الشبكة وطلع ممكن حرية تاني لا دو كمان جالس أسأل سؤال لما برجي لنا
أنا متأسف
I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
أنا متأسف السؤال ده تجيل في روم أنا متأسف ربنا يساعد.
خلاص in this regard
الله وكيلك يا أخي.
لا الله وكيلك زي So in this regard maybe we can hand over this question to Composer Lam. Lam ita bagir tonga tanga suya mata atur subara sengkena masa juga.
Yeah, thank you. Matches is political question. Honestly, from the point of view of Dr. Machar being the chairman commander-in-chief at IO, currently he's under trial, which we call it Islam trial, which is going to help anybody. So I don't think if they release Dr. Machar, he will say, this is it. Machar wants everybody to be on board. I believe he will ask for everyone to be on board, and the discussion is not going to be on RRCs anymore. It will be beyond RRCs. So, because I can't read his mind, but I know how he felt when we left Juba, I believe that if he's released today, it is not about him going straight to work. It will be him being allowed to go to work, but he will have his own options to say his mind. But one thing I know is Machar will never leave Juba just like that, because he made it very clear in Juba. Ladi will fix the situation that is happening in Juba. And that means not only fixing IO, because on several occasions, Machar Jirbu, Shan Keresha, Ajide Salam, is that Rome initiative was supposed to work. Even this issue of Tumaini matches, they brought a little bit of tension in it, but because of the way it was brought forward, that's why it couldn't work. But otherwise, he wants everybody on board, and he wants people to go back for peace, but not a peace like RRCs that brought us problem up to today. So I can't really answer into detail, but this is what I can give you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, compatriot Lam, for this answer. You know, my brothers and sisters, let us not focus more on Shunukija Hasil Bukar. Asa haja alfi kedena zegisa bita haja ta subare alwa joro mede kele gidubat nato kere kelmo ereta la barak. Yeah, that's the most important. Yeah, so can role computer Charles Itahile. Yeah, fadal. Yeah.
Thank you. Odile na my sister tana in white. Hello, do gidam dudu. Mungkin odilo. Mana sejak man.
Kalas, since Suba is back, can odilo fursa? Yeah, go on, Mr. Suba.
أنا جيت أقول زبارة أنا خلاص أقول مسلم
Ita tala sato bara min room ini tapi kau maafi.
أوكي أنا آخر وين؟
Ita akhir fi strategic ta exit Nigeria. Ukeda ita tonga beras negi belken le computer lam kelo matrusu. Ita bes tonga jet in. Yeah.
عايز
تفضل.
أنا كنت يا أخي ال في أي in any arrangement, political formations, alliances, and the like, usually you have to take into consideration how you come into that alliance, and then also how possibly you will exit from it in case can be challenges. And two, when you are planning for masalan strategic missions, don't plan for negative options. Masalan, if this happen, what are we going to do? The fact is that you only restrict yourself with the objective that you wanted to achieve. And our objective here is how to bring to an end this government, which is a cancerous to the people of South Sudan. This is an objective. Now, all of us, IO or NAS, will count ourselves failure if we have not achieved the objective of stopping this government. And that is a fundamental benchmark that guides us. But the other things on the way, because we are now believing that Mashakil al-Hassan Junub Fogoda, it is beyond issues with the case al-Masi Gidam Tariq Machar. It is even beyond President Betakir, whether he has a factor. The salam, the stability of South Sudan is beyond. The question is now why the Junubin, Muhtarifin, Gal Felan, they have right over that country to be stable. And each and everybody has a right to participate in how that stability should come around. So it is a matter of a sovereignty. It is a matter of, it's a national issue on this particular issue here. So matters are bigger with powers of sharing power, of looking at the individual as a factor, determining the fate with Ajada, we look at it as a secondary. But the fundamental is that how do you bring this government who has been a thorn to the lives of the people of South Sudan all this time, meaning 2005, how do we bring it to an end? And that's why the struggle between an individual, it is also elongating or even strengthening life with longevity with al-hukuma fi sulta fi Juba. Lakin, why not probably we will be able to add pressure lil-hukuma. And indeed, it is now paying off. So Ladu, Uncle Ladu, some of these factors I'll feel maybe they are worries, yes, they are legitimate worries. Lakin on the strategic and tactical points with Al-View Bitana, we don't look them as a worries and what, we look them as an obstacle while we are continuing with the alliance, we are looking at ways of how we can overcome them. But the factor that we are looking at how to end the brutality with al-hukuma with Salva Kiir fi Juba. Wa shukran.
يا شكرا بس في كلمتين انه شكرا صوبا وبعدين اللام خليني افهم انه مرفعين بيقولوا انه الدخول صعب لكن مروق بيكون سهل. شكرا.
Yeah, shukran, Uncle Ladu. Charles Dahile, it seems like you're busy. Should I go to? Okay, thank you for that spirit as well. Nabrole, Sister Dudu, if you have question, be precise. Ask your question, please. Sister Dudu, are you there? Dudu David, are you there? Can Dudu Mafi? Kinda bridge letter General Charles Lanutar if you don't have time. The two
Hi, shukran takum, Sister Teresa. Okay. Brother Lam, Brother Manas, Brother Dominic, Anamar Dande Kande, Equatorian or De Jarantana Dem, Sudani, Jarantana, Kulu Equatorians for Korfa, were raised with the National Salvation Front, General Thomas, Korfa, any Okulu leaders who are not mentioned, who are present here, including those Equatorians from the regime.
أنا بزر فهم حاجة للناس في الغرفة. طبعا Charles هنا Charles is a separatist. He's a leader of Equatorial movement, whatever. That's why he's referring to. Yeah, so he's a separatist. So further, Charles.
Thank you. All Equatorian patriots who are in the Orfa. This is General CPI, all of you, General Charles, the leader of Equatorial Bloc for Equality and Justice Movement, proud Equatorian from the Federal Democratic Republic of Equatoria. We say, Nas Goa, Ayo Viva, Equatoria for Equatorians. For me, I just have a comment, and I'm there, but there's a president, whether they are the one or maybe it's me who create the praise, but feel as a Gallo fi sejara. Can fi why sejara fi mahal jara. Why sejara best fi mahal jara de kulu. Gal mata gata out tehet. Mata gata out tehet. Le, because sejara de badin, ita kan badin ra kuru ita tabanta brandum fogo. Kan jibwa kel badin, ita bra kulu fogo. You know? So this is one of the first for Tagile. Ana bugul the National Salvation Front and IO. Congratulations for the precise execution of your objective of attacking the positions in Torit. However, for me, as a leader of Equatorial Bloc for Equality and Justice Movement, as Equatorian, I say that Eastern Equatoria is the only center now, the only state in our nation that is more peaceful and can host our brothers from Western Equatoria, from Central Equatoria, who have been chased by the Dinkas, whose land has been taken, whose leaders has been put in jail, and they are voiceless. So Eastern Equatoria has been peaceful, and we give credit to the unity of the people of Eastern Equatoria and the leadership in Eastern Equatoria, to accept to live together, including, accepting the IO cantonment in Eastern Equatoria not to be attacked. Some of us, we work very hard. The IO are from Eastern Equatoria, and these are Eastern Equatorians, and their position must not be attacked. We've worked very hard, but I believe if it is true, the IO and National Salvation Front attack the position in Torit, then it creates another problem to us as Equatorians. Why do we kill ourselves? Mafi dinka wina katolo. Ala dinka algaha kumina de, algishiru lanta na de, Makatulu Vitorit. And we know their position. Deputy Commissioner, they mean Desolta Eastern Equatoria. Fi Heta Tinka, Yaufina, Fitani International Intelligence, Fi military na Kulu, Makatulu. Akem Bugul Limas and Aftulu Nufusna Equatorians.
Charles, just make it short because we're actually we're running against the time, please.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So what I'm saying that, I just want to say that all of us, National Salvation Front leadership, thank God that Thomas Chirilo is here. The IO leadership, General Yet and Lam Paul is the spokesperson here. And all of us in Eastern Equatoria, we are saying that this attack must stop now. Make a ceasefire. Lobong don't move to attack the position of the IO. IO don't move and attack the position of the government. We are trying to handle this situation. We want peace to return to Eastern Equatoria. We want tranquility. We want to coexist as Eastern Equatorians, and we want to look at our enemies. We know where the enemies are. So, Nehina, as Eastern Equatorians and Equatorians, we need Eastern Equatoria is a way. Nastana Kargiri, in Western Equatoria or Central Equatoria, in Uganda, in Kenya, they rest there. As a bigger fogo, Amini musculata Amini. Brawen. Yaut Nasbar Hazalata Murtain.
Thank you, Charles.
Bigger fights today. So I say that ceasefire must be Latin, must be observed, and we must all handle this problem. We are going to handle this problem amicably so that Mafitan, this type of thing repeat itself. Shukran.
Charles, thank you. You pass your separatist agenda. Like India. Brother Charles, you're supposed to ask questions. Compared Lam, Charles used to be an IO, but somehow he fed up. Now he become a separatist. Maybe you want to tell him something. Yeah, go on.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Comrade Charles really separatist ideal kid. Just point of correction. Our positions, we have cantonment site. In Eastern Equatoria, Indina fi Achua, Irube, Nyara, around Torit, then Loyoro. There is this lowering and Loyoro in Kafoita. Now, Comrade Charles is saying that these places were not attacked. That's wrong. The first attack happened in Achua cantonment site, where currently that cantonment is being closed, but we have our forces within the area. With Irube, yes, we know they are planned to attack, but they know the position. Irube is closer to town. Any attack in Irube, it will mean attack in Torit. The reverse attack will happen. Secondly, IO is not a movement of Equatoria or even NAS. I don't think NAS is a movement of Equatoria. Our agenda is not tribal or regional. Our agenda is national. Anybody that is with the regime will have to face us, because if they don't face us, we'll face them. Currently, we have our officers that are being jailed in Torit. Comrade Dario, yesterday I had, maybe they might have killed him, but the latest information is that he's alive still. There is someone that was jailed because he's IO. So you can't stop the regime from attacking us, or you can't stop them from continuing harassing us. You saw the provocation was not from IO. The provocation straight away was brought about by Governor Lobong. And you just can't sit down because you're in Equatoria and you know that will not be fair for us. And thank you, first of all, for your points anyway. But the truth is, IO and NAS will remain a national movement that will be striving to bring peace to the country, not only to Equatorians. Thank you.
Thank you, Comforted Lam. Let's go to.
Let me add,
go on.
let me add something. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lam. You have answered General Charles adequately. First of all, we recognized the position, the political position of General Charles of advocating for the suppression. That fundamentally reflects his fundamental human rights. The right for self-determination is a fundamental human rights. You can demand anything that you want. And this right actually brought us today as a nation. And that's why when we talk of politics, there are ideologies and their beliefs. There are those who believe that the best way for us to govern ourselves is this one, and the best way for us to progress as a political community is this one. We, as National Salvation Front and as well as IO, we chose unity. We thought that we have a problem with the leadership in the country. We have a system of governance that does not address the serious root causes of the problem that we have. Unless we are able to address the root causes of the crisis in the country, we will be able to live as brothers and sisters in this larger community called South Sudan. But there are those who are saying, no, there is no way we can live together. So that is also their right. Now, the point that I want to bring here is that while we're looking at these diversities, we also need to be cautious at who is our enemy. Who is our enemy? If our enemy is the people in the government, now the people in the government are not only concentrated in one place, they have spread throughout South Sudan, representing their interest. And wherever they are, they have an interest there to support their government in the center. Now, for instance, in Eastern Equatoria, Eastern Equatoria is an important state for the continuity of the government in Juba. Look at the expropriation of the resources in Kaboita, the gold. Benefiting who? Is it benefiting the citizens of Eastern Equatoria? No. Benefiting the leaders in Eastern Equatoria and backed by those in Juba, the status quo. And this is how the configuration works. And therefore, I'm quite sure you, even Charles, with justice and equality for Equatoria, you will not even support such kind of configuration going on in Eastern Equatoria. So the least you can do is to dismantle such arrangement, such that your citizens that you are advocating for them may not be subject to kind of this oppression or deprivation that they're always going through. So when we are going to those places there, we are targeting those enemies and to dismantle those kind of network that support the continuity of that system at the center. If you have not discouraged and dismantled those networks, then those will be, because those are the sources, those are the avenues that feed the big person that sits in Juba. And these are the dynamics. And that's why you find that an enemy does not have a color. An enemy does not have an identity. So long as that enemy supports the policies of the oppressor, that's the point in. So in your level, the best you can do, it is to really aware our people on the dangers of supporting an enemy who is an enemy of the whole people. You see that? Because at the end of the day, somebody will also come to you and look at you that you are the enemy if you are supporting the larger enemy who is oppressing the rest of the people all. You see that? So those are the things. You see that? So when in the beginning, when you were thanking us for the alliance and the like, maybe I thought you were going to give us some encouragement and the like, but now you are trying to tell us that we make peace. We make peace with our enemy, which at the end of the day, we are actually relaxing. We are massaging the enemy such that they continue to oppress our people who have suffered all this time because of the 2 to 3 and 4 people. So why don't we address those things? Do some surgical operations, remove the tumor, which is always oppressing our people, and then let our people now live free, just as they were born naked and want to just enjoy life, the inheritance of God and the legacy that has been given to them. So, Charles, that is the situation that's there. In every struggle, usually there are casualties. There are casualties. In every struggle, there are damages that will happen. In our intention, the military cooperation, joint operation, our intention is not to harm any person. Our intention is not to harm any person. But if there are also situations that in our actions, people fail because of the decisions that we have taken, we are regrettable at that particular point for the fact that damages have happened, but we are looking at the bigger picture, which at the end of the day, to bring total transformation and sanity to the larger people of South Sudan. And that also including this same Equatoria that you are advocating for. Because if we do not take an action against the system in Juba, even time will come where even this Equatoria that you're advocating for will not be there. Will not be there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, compatriot Suba, for your answer. Let's go to Don. Don? Don?
Yes, Sister Teresa, it's done. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Go on, yeah.
Yes. First of all, I must say, Nas Goa, I.O. Viva.
Nas
You are coming
Goa,
here.
I.O. Viva, yeah. Go on.
Yes. The coming of General Lam and brother Suba. This is a great day for all of us. Perfectly great day. In fact, Lam spoke earlier, and Suba also kind of came and mentioned. That was my question, actually, Teresa. I wasn't coming to say anything. I was just coming to appreciate them, first of all, for coming, and then saying what they already answered. The question was, brothers, we here out here, we are very active sometimes in clubhouses. We have problems. And you guys are the one clarifying, making it very clear today. And I hope there are a lot of people down here from today. We don't want to hear anymore. NAS is this, which NAS is not. IO is this, which IO is not. It's very clear today. This has to go to Aparag room. It has to go to Eagle Media room. So that tomorrow when we go to the clubhouse again, please don't ask me of some stupid question that NAS is for Equatoria, or NAS is a tribalist. NAS is a racist, whatever you say. Today, the leaders are here and the spokesperson is here. You listen very well to what they're explaining. If somebody says something to you out there, it could be a member who is drunk or a member who does not understand. He can say anything he wants, but from the leadership is right here. So, Suba, the explanation about NAS as a national movement, and it's not a separatist, and it's not against the Dinka, is very important here because we are facing members, friends of our South Sudanese here. They claim, they say they want to join NAS, but NAS is a tribalist. They don't want Dinka. How can we join NAS because it's an Equatorian movement? This explanation here is very important so that it will help all of us here tomorrow going forward. The same thing they also talk about IO. They say it's a new movement or it's against Dinka. It's something. So both of you are here. Your explanation is good for us. And anybody who's again talk about those things that is clarified today must be taken to the hospital. Yes, you have to be taken to the hospital because it's very clear. I think I will not go far. This is my. I was gonna tell you guys to explain more of this to our people here, but you somehow mentioned it. But if you wanna also stress more of it, it's very important so that they don't need to talk about this thing. We all need to come together and remove the system, remove the man who is destroying the nation. That's the mission. And then, Yajama, we are very happy about the operation going on. NAS and IO together, continue even tomorrow. Give more power, hit inside Torit, continue. There's no going left and right. Continue. Thank you.
Yeah, shukran, brother Dan. Those who always claim and making propaganda against us and IO, those are the propagandists of the regime. So we can't really change their mind because they are paid to do that. Let's go to Anamar of Sudani. You came first or the Kano Anyanya move? Anyanya one. Lando احنا خلاص قربنا للزمن بتاعنا.
لا يا يمشي لانه انا سايق حسه
خلاص
طبعا بلوك سامعين ولا ما سامعين؟
يا انا سامعك. Let's go Anyanya, you go on the point لانه الناس ديل عندهم وقت بسيط عندهم ارتباطات. تفضل ده السؤال بتاعك. Yeah, Anyanya one. الزول الطلع فوق ده.
انت حقه خدوا الناس اللي بيتكلموا خلاص تحت عشان احنا زودنا.
انا غطيتهم.
خلاص تقدر تسمعني كده ولا تسمعني؟
Let me go down. Let me go down. Thank you.
I say Dominic Aluta, Sister Teresa Aluta.
Thank you. It's Sudani. It's Sudani's turn, please. تفضل سوداني.
أشكر الحضور هم زعماء التعارضة. صح إنه أنا كمواطن اللي هو من مجموعات اللي هو بينتمي منه هو الرئيس نفسه. المجموعات اللي هي كانت تعيش في المناطق المختلفة في جنوب السودان. أنا الليلة أنا بحس ب80 على الأقل إنه الرسائل اللي هو بديتوا ترسلوها للمواطن إنه نحن المشكلة هي مشكلة أزمة حكم، ليس أزمة اجتماعية بل متلخصة في السياسة. لذلك نحن كنا زمان بالنادي على أساس إنه لازم يكون في حوار شامل، والحوار الشامل ده اللي هو بيجنبنا نحن كمواطنين نصطدم ببعضنا البعض. وإذا نحن مسكنا في نفس الخط اللي انتوا هسه بتتكلموا عنه، الخط ده هو حيكون خط مثمر، وهو الخط اللي هو اللي بيخوف النظام نفسه، لأنه النظام كان بيلعب في وترينه على أساس إنه كان يكون في انشقاقات قبلية بيننا كأبناء الوطن الواحد لكي يستمر في نهب موارد البلد واستمرار في الفساد السياسي الاجتماعي الثقافي. نحن كلنا عارفين بأنه ما كل المواطنين الموجودين في البلد هم المستفيدين من الموارد اللي هي اللي بتنحب منذ استغلالنا من السودان الأم حتى يومنا هذا. حتى المستلزمات البسيطة اللي هي بتتمثل في التعليم والصحة والطرق، يعني احنا كمواطنين ما احنا اعداء لبعضنا البعض. بدلا نبني
انت تعرف يا سوداني؟
ايوه
احنا ما فاتحين نقاش، احنا دايرين منك تطرح
ايوه
سؤالك. انت عندك سؤال؟
ايوه سؤالي
انت اسال سؤال
خلاص
لانه هم هيمشوا بعد شويه.
خلاص ما في مشكله. انا سؤالي كمواطن اللي هو في مخاوف اللي هو من المعارضه نفسه.
هل المعارضة دي هتضمن لي سلامتي لو أنا في نفس المناطق اللي هو المعارضة بتنتمي منه، ولا ما هتضمن لي السلامة كابن من أبناء الدينكا؟ وده السؤال أنا داير أسأله.
Okay, shukran. Compatriot Lam, compatriot Manasa, a question for you. Yani muarade.
Can I pass my question and I'll go down? Sister Teresa?
Yeah, you can pass your question. Yeah, just make it short. Yeah, go on.
Yes, just a short, right? Thank you, Sister Teresa. My elder brother Dominic Akwai. Then IO spokesperson, Numb, and then Zoint, and then the one with Arabic. Thank you, all of you guys. I appreciate being the podium with you guys. I don't we are hypothetical, but with scientifics, okay. What are we? I don't want to put other people in the same spot. As we what are we like? As we were signing a peace. Take me in the other way, right? I'm asking you, spokesperson of SFMIO, Paul Gabriel, as we were taking the other side. I think we signed a peace agreement, and then the agreement was signed. Then there were no implementation, and then the leader was implicated, was put on house arrest.
Why don't you directly ask your question? Yeah, Changi.
Dominic, okay, ask me, then you know my question, my brother. Okay,
Okay, the question is regarding the arrest of Dr.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you then. Thank you. Brother Lam, there is two questions now. One from Sudani is regarding if the opposition, for instance, control the area where he is from, like Dinka, for instance, will they be safe? The same question also will also apply to Ajere, to Suba. If you can answer that, yeah, thank you. Are you there, Compatriot Lam?
Okay. I'm here. I forgot to turn my mic on.
No, it's okay. Go on.
I was sorry. Yeah. Thank you very much for that question. On the issue of controlling areas where Dinkas stay or where they reside, I want to give a personal example. Let me say from my personal experience. 2014, I was in Unity State. When Peter Gadet attacked Mayom, was supposed to advance to Warab. But Dr. Machar made it very clear that if we crossed Warab, it would mean a tribal war. Because technically the forces that were in Unity State or under Peter Gadet were, majority of them were Nuer, yet some of us were there. But the majority were the Nuer and the White Army. But that time it was majorly, in fact, it was still a little bit tribal. So Dr. Machar made it very, if you crossed to Mayom, let me say to Warab, it will mean tribal war. So the attack in Warab was halted, and Peter Gadet to move back and now attacked Bentiu. And that was when he captured Bentiu, 2014. When those of Khamis Abdalatif from Rumbek joined, and also the former CDF Aturjo Dao joined the SPLIO. Now they were told, you go to your area and mobilize and open a front. Because if a Nuer cross there, it will mean it will be understood as tribal. But at least people from the area would be able to protect, and it will show that it is national. So, my brother, if we're going to control your area, it will not be us from Equatorial coming to control your area in Upper Nile. It will mean your own people will be there to control that area, to protect your interests, to protect the civilians that are there. Dr. Machar will never allow a Nuer to cross to your territory in Baragazal region. If that was supposed to be the case, we would have crossed to Baragazal long time ago. Before even 2015 was signed, we would have crossed to Baragazal, to Rumbek, would have crossed to Warab, would have even reached until Awil. But we didn't reach there because we couldn't. And we didn't want to turn it to be tribal. That is one. Two, 2014, before that peace was signed in 2015, the mobilization in Equatoria was very high. And there were possibilities of forces in Equatoria to be supported by logistics so that they would reach Juba. During our command meeting, military command council meeting in Pagak 2015, some of you might be there by then. The late Martin Kenya was still available. I remember he was told directly that if we give you enough weapon in Equatoria, it will become tribal. Because now there is this issue that was happening in Western Equatoria with the cattle herders attacking a civilian, where the Arab boys decided to come seriously. So Dr. Machar was afraid that Lojibas la Equatoria Bukala Sudenka. So Equatorial was not armed based on that fact. So he controlled Equatorial from being armed. He also controlled the Nuer from crossing to Denkaland. So my brother, we are not a tribal movement. Much as this is what other people want to turn it to be tribal, it is not a tribal movement. We're a national movement, and our agenda has always been a national agenda to bring the regime change. We are not looking at Salva as a Dinka, we are looking at Salva as a president. Because I'm not a Nuer, and actually, if some people think I'm Nuer, but no. I've moved in all these areas. I've operated in Unity State, in Western Baragazal, I was also there. Upon I just went Baragazal, I went during the peace agreement. But upon I was there. You see, in Equatorial also function, I also went as far as were those who went to the 26 are footed up to Congo with those of Dr. Machar together. So we are not a party that belong to a particular tribe. No, we are everywhere, and we have generals who are also from Dinka. So you are safe. Your control area, if we are to control it, you will be safe there, and your people will be defended. For example, Abia, when we send the unified force there from the VIP, three-quarter, the commander was a Nuer. But they protected their territory without having any issues with a particular community until of reason when they decided to move out from Abia and came back to Unity. So don't be afraid. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, compatriot Lampol. The same question. I don't know.
The second question I didn't answer. I don't know. The
second question, yes, is from our brother Chunky. It's actually regarding the arrest of the tribe. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, you know, peace is in the heart of everybody. If it is not in the heart of the other one, you can't force it. Salva Madar Salam. That's why he's doing all this. But it cannot stop us from trying to implement peace. And that was why we decided to go to Juba and things down on us. But we have learned our lessons. So Machar, yes, is in jail. He's being taken to court. But we hope he will be removed very soon, whether it is through the court or whether it is through this issue of them having their fake pardon. But all in all, he didn't mean bad, he meant peace. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Lam. Compared Suba, you had the question before. The question was from Sudani. I don't know
Yeah,
if
he was talking about this wrong narrative of
like for instance, yes, like for instance, if for instance the forces, whether NAS or IO forces, control the area where he's from, he actually said it clear that as a Dinka, will they be safe? Will the Dinka be safe? This is what he was saying. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that this wrong narrative that these forces, especially National Salvation Front and SPLM-IO against Dinka. By the way, this is the hallmark. The whole assertion is a hallmark, defines the kind of politics of South Sudan. And that's why when we are in Rome, where we try to define the conflict in South Sudan as being tribal, and many people don't want to agree with us. Even some of the opposition in Soma then, that we differed with them, they don't want to agree on that kind of definition. But exactly this is what is playing in ground now, like the trial which is going on, this trial which is going on, and we know very well that the composition of the SPLM-IO are not purely all Nuer. Even within their leadership, they are Dinka and other other tribes of South Sudan. They are part of them. But now when we look at the victims that are arraigned in the court, purely you see them are from one ethnic group. And then the question that begs answering, what is it? Are you implicating a tribe? Are you implicating an organization? Or what is the motive behind all these things? So unless we come to a true definition of what exactly is the conflict in South Sudan is all about, we cannot be able to have a solution to that problem. So we cannot run away from the fact that our politics are governed by the tribe and issues of ethnicity. That is the reality. And that is the definition that always we provide. Unless we confront that monster, we cannot be able to go out of this particular thing. And that's why people come out with questions, with the fear that if I join this movement, these people are against us. You remember in the beginning, in 2017, when we started, we have people from Jiang who join us in leadership level. We have somebody called Chol, and the other one is called he's currently an MP in National Assembly. Now,
it's Michael Mawin.
Michael, yes, Mawin. So these people, they decided and they went back to Juba. And first of all, they went to Khartoum, attended the agreement, and then later on, they went to Juba after differing with us for the fact that we refused to sign to be part of the RSS agreement. Now they went to Juba. Now in the airport, the whole president of the country said publicly that I met some two Dinkas in Khartoum, and these two Dinkas are members of National Salvation Front. And I asked them, why did you join National Salvation Front? And these people are Equatorians, they don't want Denka. Imagine, this is the head of the state. And then he was talking publicly in Juba airport in front of everybody to hear. What does it mean? That indicates that we have a leader who is a tribal core. Tribal core. Not only tribal, but core. And he's mobilizing his people against the rest of the people. That's the clear definition of what a tribal conflict is all about. And we're trying that this kind of narratives must change. Because if it has not changed, then that country will never progress. and it will never accommodate us for once. You see that? That is it. So, for instance, in our membership in National Salvation Front, for those who have come across it in our constitution, the definition of a membership is clear, is open to all people of South Sudan, as long as you have attained the age of 18 years. You will become a member of National Salvation Front. In all our areas that we are operating in, we have people who are in charge of mobilization. Like for me now, I'm a spokesperson and I'm deputy secretary for political mobilization. Recruitment falls under my office. Membership recruitment falls under my office. And our recruitment is not tribal. We approach everybody to come. And therefore, it is not also forceful. If we are willing and accept our message, our political message, then you are free to join any of our, to go and join, to visit any of our branches anywhere and become a member. And then when you join and you become a member, then you see whether the same entitlement of membership that we give to each and everybody does not qualify to you, for instance, if you are from Jang. I wish one day, if there is any Jang from anywhere that could come and tell us about his treatment, about his mistreatment after he has joined and how things will have been done. There, we will have a reason, or you have a reason to say that, for instance, this group doesn't want or don't accommodate other groups from other areas. You see that? Another thing that I want to tell the people, inside Juba, we have supporters. We have people who are carried off by our message. And they believe on our message. And they communicate. And they advise. And they give their opinion on the direction that we are supposed to pursue. And not necessarily in Juba, but throughout the towns in South Sudan. They communicate because we are part and parcel of the people of South Sudan. We are friends that previously we used to be together. So those people who talk to us, even if most of majority of them are sympathizers, but young communities are there. They're there. Whether inside or in diaspora, they're there. You see, some of them have testified that our communities are not good. If we come out boldly and say we belong to you, sometimes they will get isolated. So we prefer to operate underground. These are realities that are there. So this aspect of fear, this aspect of marginalizing other groups that they don't accommodate, other groups are not authentic, are false. And in fact, they are used as a mobilization tool to deny the patriotic sons and daughters of Jang from joining this patriotic movement that are there. You see, despite, like example I see in the SPLM-IO, they are there in the leadership, they are there in the forces, they are there in their thousands, but they still, there are wrong elements who still go and accuse SPLM-IO of being Nuer dominated or Nuer led organization. Now, when you ask yourself, what is the motivation of all this thing? What is the motivation? Is it that to kill this organization, not to survive? No. Core at the heart of us is this aspect of tribalism. Everybody wants to be there at the expense of the rest. And therefore, the question is, are we building a nation? Are we building a nation? Even Salva Kiir himself, when he cocoons himself, the Tiger Division all of it from one particular Payam, for instance, from his own area. Now, how do you call that? Patriotism? Do you call it nationalism? What do you call it? If it is not simply in simple English, tribalism, what do you call it? If you only fear, if you only feel secure that it is only my people from my background, from my backyard, who can provide, who can secure me. Even you reach an extent of naming militia, protect the band in your own dialect. What does it mean? How do you call that thing? Is it nationalism? Yes, ethnic nationalism. Ethnic nationalism. But nobody described that as a tribalism in practice by one tribe. But we are saying that there is a leader who is manipulating a tribe for his own personal interest. So unless even that tribe liberate himself or herself, he will become a victim. He will become a victim. You see that? So that is the situation. So Sudani, under us, count on us. This aspect of blanket marginalization or blanket targeting of each and everybody, that we don't have it because we speak for the party. We know the culture of our party. I speak for my party and I know what is enshrined in our constitution as far as our membership is concerned, where we drive. We even reach to an extent of providing membership to a non-South Sudanese, for those who believe in the ideology of our party. And we believe these people can be able to connect us. We are able to provide a membership for that for them, which is a honorary membership. Therefore, if you can provide a honorary membership even for a South Sudanese, then how do you really logically, politically, rationally marginalize a fellow South Sudanese to become a member of your party? So in summary, actually those voices that believe that some of these groups work against some particular communities in the country, in other way, are narratives that are designed purposely to deny some of these members, actually denying the fundamental rights of some of these members to freely come and experience political life from in other groups outside cocooning themselves within. So this culture is what we want to break as a movement that are fighting the regime in Juba. So the last message to Sudan is that you are free, you will be protected, and nobody will work against you. And if there are people who harms you, then you become direct enemy of our organization, because we will definitely take measures against you. Yeah, because nobody manufactures a human life. So there is no way that somebody may take somebody's life simply because you think you have a gun, you think you have a power, and therefore you can claim somebody's life, just the way Salva Kiir and his group are doing. How many people, has even the young people that they are wasting their lives for fighting their senseless war? How many did he create as Salva? Has he created any young? Those are products of God. See? So therefore, at the end of the day, whoever stands beyond the law has to face the consequences. So here the question is that you should ask whether in these new groups that wants to come out and force in new dispensation, are these groups governed by rule of law? What is their capacities? What is their message that of ensuring this rule of law? Those are the engagement that we wanted people to begin asking this movement, the SPLM-IO and National Salvation Front. What is it that you can do different What is it that you can avoid from unnecessary killing like what happened in 2013 and 2016? What are the evidence that you can you can provide? Those are the conversations that we wanted people to engage us and see whether we can provide a satisfactory answers for these particular things, questions and the like. But otherwise, each and every person has a right. Thank you. Has a right to live where he is, where he is, deserve the same protection, deserve the same treatment. And if you have also done a mistake, you have agreed something, you also deserve to be punished the same way that anybody who has somewhere has done the same mistake. Well, in a nutshell, we must be equal before the law. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother Suba. We actually completed the 1 hour, maybe with extra 15 minutes on top. Brother Matthew Ojuk, Onen Matthew Onen Juk, you wrote your question and we're about to finish here. Your question, it was like to Brother Lampol. Zaman biga mafia shan jama del taman hum indom jada moed tani hajat tanin moderamol. So Annabes, what I'm going to say now, first of all, I want to thank both of them. But I have just last message from you, message to the people of South Sudan. Kedeta mkutu Arab el basit shan keda wasil le junubin. From Brother Lampol Gabriel and also from Brother Brother Suba. Lam, you can go ahead. Akhir message le junubin. Message of hope.
Yeah, thank you, compatriot Teresa. I have one very big challenge. My Arabic is not all that very good, so
Yes,
you need to pardon me. I will go in
it's
English.
okay. They make it in English. Suba will make it in simple Arabic.
Yeah. So, to our countrymen and women, to our citizens, to our forces on the ground, the only way forward is for us to stand united, knowing that the struggle is not tribal, as other people might be putting it, and the SPLIO as a movement does not stand with or does not condone corruption, does not condone intimidation, does not condone harassing of civilians. Our job is to protect the people of South Sudan. We went to Juba for peace with all our hearts. We went empty-handed. 2016 was good. We went armed. But 2018, we were told to go without weapons. So that we implement this peace. And the peace that we went to implement was not for us as IO. It was for our people, for the people of South Sudan. But at the end, we were pushed back to zero. So we are going to start from afresh. That's why today you are hearing gunshots everywhere in the country. Is not our making. But we hope for the best. We hope that the president will realize the importance of peace. The president will realize the importance of dialogue. The president will realize the importance of nationalism instead of going tribal. I couldn't go detail into how he act, but Suba has mentioned it completely. But we don't want to look at him from that point of view. When I grew up, I had one big problem. I was among those that didn't want us to separate from Sudan. The reason being, I also wanted us to control Sudan a little bit so that the Arabs would feel the pain that we felt as South Sudanese. But when SPLM came hard, then we said, okay, fine, let's go for separation. Went for separation. Some of us were among those who campaigned seriously, even for the president to be the president currently in 2010, even for Governor Lobong to be the governor. Some of us stood hard to make sure he became governor against Ojetuk. That doesn't mean that we don't have personal issues with each other. It's not tribal, it's not, but it's just because the agenda is different. What they are doing is not what we stood for as South Sudanese. So we want to give a message of hope that this is a trial period that we are in, and it will go to past. Don't look at the revolutionary fighters as if they are your enemies. We are not your enemies. We are for you people. We stand with you. We stand for you. We stand to defend your rights, because not everybody is born to be a fighter. There are others that are born to refuse to be intimidated. And that's why some of us are still here strong. We could enjoy peace somewhere else if we want to, but we chose to suffer. We chose to stay in the bushes, not because we want to, but because we wanted to have a brighter future. So we are not enemies. And to my fellow brothers from the Greater Baragazal, today you have heard a lot about how we operate as IO, why we were not present in Upper Nile, in Baragazal region. It was because we are not a tribal movement and we don't want to be looked at as if we are tribal. So bear with us. And whoever is trying to convince you that IO is a tribal movement, please remove that. With NAS, we have started it already. We are moving forward, and we hope to expand our cooperation agreement with the other opposition fighters that are on the ground. For those that are listening to us, it is high time for us to come together. This issue of looking at things as tribe, we should put it aside, especially in Upper Nile. Please, it's time for us to join hands to move forward. And also those one that are in Greater Baragazal, we also want you to join hands with us to push this regime aside. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you to the GMS for hosting me specifically. It's my first time to be here. I'm so happy to see some people, to hear some voices that I've never heard before. Thank you, Teresa, for hosting me. And thank you very much, Suba. We have been cooperating a lot since the start of this program, and we'll continue cooperating. And thank you also for making sure that I attend. Shukran Kalish.
Yeah, shukran Kadir, brother Paul Gabriel. Really appreciate your presence today. And this is also a good gesture. You know, we have to utilize those media outlet. And nowadays they become very strong tool for a message even to go viral. Like for instance, now we are sitting here, you don't know how many people are listening. Some of them are not even connecting to TikTok and to X and so on. So the message will circulate more, and we appreciate really your presence here today. And I'm sure this is the beginning. Soon or later, you will always come back again and to give this awareness to the people. This kind of message can always encourage them, especially in this kind of situation that we are in today, whereby there is a trial here, the economic crisis, the war, and many things are going on in Republic of South Sudan. So let's go to Brother Manasseh. Suba, if you have last message to the people of South Sudan, please. Yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Teresa, and the management of GMC Grassroots Media Center, all the moderators, Dominic, and our colleagues who have also asked questions, and those who have made comments about today's program, and also to Lam Gabriel for sharing with us together in this important discussion. To the people of South Sudan, they have suffered for long, and let them not lose hope and give up to despair. The message I should provide, and it's very important, that the regime is weaker, becoming weak and weak. Every minute, every second, every minute, every hour, every day, and every week, every month, every year, the regime is becoming weaker and weaker. Just look back. I don't want to stretch your mind for long, but I just want to give you, look back at the strength of the regime for the last 2 years, economically, politically, diplomatically, militarily, to now. You can realize that the graph of the regime is going down. And that factor alone, you should take it into consideration that there is hope for anything to happen. Because it could have been the opposite if the hope is not there and the regime is emboldening itself and the light is growing stronger and stronger, then we will have lost hope completely. But there are many cracks within this regime that will be exploited. What is important is only for us to work together and exploit those cracks for our benefit. And that's why these factors necessitated us to come together with IO and work towards widening those cracks that are now visible within the regime for the benefits of the people of South Sudan. And our coming together, that is strategy, we want it to widen, just like Lam has mentioned, to widen it such that it becomes a popular move of the whole people of South Sudan against few individuals who have actually held the country hostage or at their grip. So this is important message. Even to SSPDF who are there, you are being exploited. You are being used as a wood to generate energy, to renew the lifespan of this regime. But you are not benefiting. Your families are doing nothing. There are many stories of some of you who have committed suicide because of hopelessness. There are many stories of some of you who die of hunger, who pain because of hunger, just because of this regime. It is not opposition who's doing that, but it's the same regime that you are defending. So time has come for you to take a U-turn, to make a U-turn, to think. If you cannot come out and join the first hand with their brothers outside here and fight the common enemy, please retire to a village and stay as a common man. Devoid the regime from your services such that the fight will become very easy. Because these people in Juba, they don't have time to fight because they have money. So somebody who has millions of dollars in his briefcase does not have time to fight. The first thing he will do, he first of all run away with his money for safety. While running away for safety, then he has already given out the space for the rest to take over. So they don't have time to fight. And that's why they're hiring people for them to fight for them. Yet they are not giving you anything. So you are not even our enemy. You are our brothers in suffering. But only you need to realize this. You need to realize this. And that's why it is important that we intensify our mobilization. We talk to millions of people so that they understand exactly the position that we are in. The last message is for the whole people of South Sudan, especially those who feel that these groups is not home for them. No, this group belongs to you. It is a home for you. There is a book by somebody from South America. The title is Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Pedagogy, the book of Pedagogy by Paul Ferrer, the writer. That book is saying that both the oppressor and the oppressed need to be liberated because they live in fear of each other. And this is exactly the situation in South Sudan. You fear me and I fear you. Every night I dream of how to get rid of you. Every night you dream of how to get rid of me. This situation that we live in is a disease, is a national disease that if we did not come to realization that those enmity, that enmity that existing in our brain is imaginary, we will not build a nation. We will not build a nation. We will not build a state. And we will disintegrate at the end of the day. And that's why we're saying that both the oppressor and the oppressed need to be liberated. And that's why we, the people of South Sudan, we need to liberate ourselves. We need to liberate our mind from these mental imaginations that we have against each other. Otherwise, we will not find a nation. Otherwise, we will not find a state. This country, South Sudan, will one day collapse and it will disintegrate into many, whether tribes, whether economic eclipse, or whatever. It's possible. You look at the country like there was a country called Yugoslavia one time. Where is it? Now different countries. So a country can collapse. Anything can happen. And how does it collapse? When there is no political will, when there is no energy to bring this country together, when there is no glue to fix the country and hold it together. When all these things are missing, then this country will disintegrate. There is no country that will be forced by force. You cannot use force, mechanical force, to force organic mechanism together. It will not work. A country is an organic mechanism. Unless I love you, unless I prefer to work with you. But if I don't want to work with you, even if you kill me, I will die with all my hatred. I will die with all my hatred. And you will not bring my love when I am dead. It will go there. And whoever inherits me comes with that thing altogether. So this is how nation is. It's a very delicate. So if you don't have a statecraft, that's why it's called statecraft in terms of how to put this country all together. So in National Salvation Front and in SPLM-IO, we are trying to inculcate those cultures, those beliefs, the leadership that can fix, that can put that country together and put us going together with the help of everybody, with the views of each and of everybody. So this today, it's just the beginning, but definitely we're going to have a lot of a discussion. And whatever is taking place in the ground, in terms of this cooperation, military cooperation, which is going in the ground, it's not going to stop. You will just hear by surprise also, another place also be hit. And those are plans that are already there, and taking it against the common enemy of the people. And until the enemy comes to the realization that the country belongs to all of us, and therefore we have to have a joint consensus on how that country is to be governed. Otherwise, if that consensus is not there, then the end justifies the means. So this kind of operation is going to go ahead, and we pray that we strengthen this cooperation in terms of understanding, in terms of political understanding, and we also widen it in terms of those who are willing to sacrifice. Will also go ahead, expand it in other regions, Upper Nile, in Barghazal, and at the end of the day, it's because the problem of the country is all national. It is not restricted to other regions. Teresa and the colleague, we look forward for more discussion on other important topics also. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, viewers of Landing Zone, Facebook, and YouTube. Until here, we have reached our last minutes in this recording audio. It happened actually this earlier morning in Clubhouse, so I decided to bring it out for you guys. Those who have no access to Clubhouse, you can go through the YouTube channel that we have. I pinned the link on the screen. Please subscribe and like, follow our YouTube channel or our Facebook Landing Zone. So I will end up with this here. I don't want to go much. You have heard a lot from those two gentlemen, which are a spokesperson of National Salvation Front, which is Soba Samuel, and Paul Paul Gabriel, spokesperson, military spokesperson of SPLM IO or SPLM in opposition. So I will end up here. Hopefully that I see you again next week, and stay blessed, stay safe. Yeah, that's all what I have for today. Thank you.